Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's get back in the dungeon. The darkest dungeon. The very same. The one without a lot of light.
On and on.
It's not great in there.
Over and
I played
over.
one small
Until the
run
truth
earlier
is laid
today
bare.
in a very non-serious
And you are
capacity
finally
with a
free.
simple goal of unlocking a bit more recollections, more memory stuff. So I got the last 2 skills for the Man-at-Arms.
A nebulous nightmare. An apocalypse that only
So let's grab a couple new items, see what we get. I stockpiled a little bit.
Memory is the heart that warms the mind.
So I still have memories on 2 characters. Huh. Interesting. I'm liable to get them killed soon enough. It seems as though when they're killed, they re-randomize. So memories is a survival type bonus. It makes me worry that the most effective way to confront higher difficulties or chapter 5 is to do a simple run early where you try to cultivate a team, or several runs where you cultivate a team and try to preserve them. And trying to maintain a streak like that and get those characters running, that's gonna be like 12 hours of gameplay or something ridiculous. Okay. It's 18 candles to get any of these unique items. I do want to be working on those unique item unlocks. I think they're very substantial. I'm interested in an occultist with a melee skill damage bonus, as well as these cursing skills resistance piercing. But while I don't know the anamnesis skill, feels very mediocre. I am interested in the consecration vestal, not immediately, but over the long term. I think I'm unimpressed with the vestal overall. Like, the support vestal often feels like she doesn't have meaningful actions to take, and the frontline vestal feels like she doesn't do enough. This might be a good one, given how the flagellant works. New effects in the toxic state sound really difficult to make use of, but might be pretty good.
To recall a thing is to make it real once more.
Roast pig. Oh. Can be used in addition to normal food, and all hero pairs are guaranteed to gain 1 positive relationship. That's incredibly strong.
New instruments
Bottle
will help
case,
us
stacking for
diagnose the world's
concoctions
affliction
and powders,
and overcome it.
and a bonus to item produced quantity. That might be a strict upgrade over an earlier item that I found.
A welcome advancement in the
The
science of
entire
survival.
party gains double strengthen. Whew. Man, items get so much better with the later unlocks.
Every twinkling recollection
Locked jaw.
is another implement at our disposal.
Interesting. That's one of those subtly
drop of
powerful
sanity.
things. Spoken sharply.
Madness.
Gain on hit, heal 4. Huh. Okay.
Hearts and minds will carry the day.
Let's just unlock more trinkets.
Tools of iron. Such implements will
Covert
serve
cloak.
us
Ah,
well.
there's the indelible version of the covert cloak. Gives execution to ranged skills. Snappy swig. +1 fire dealt. If speed is over 8, you can gain critical. Very good for the runaway, of course. Turn start critical, gain on miss. That's very similar to some other things we've seen. Oh, that's quite good. Clarifying Carcanet. If with high relics and baubles, big bonuses. We can't afford another trinket, so it looks like we're embarking now.
Sanctuary. As fleeting as a dying star.
Yeah. Things are coming together over there. I've still got an odd phlegm problem, like a cough that isn't quite progressive enough to deal with it.
The house on the borderlands.
We're gonna keep pushing on ambition.
Swallowed by the stain.
So Ravenous Reach has 3 phases, as far as I'm aware, that I need to get through.
The crown was a hateful and ravenous thing. It had consumed our careers, our lives, and our friendship. And still, it hungered.
I might need to pick up a decongestant. I don't usually want to get stuff like that if I'm not under a fever.
Light, and welcome what help may come.
Okay. So Ravenous Reach's first phase uses Strengthen and Block, and he has a powerful knockback that can send my front ranker to the back rank. I think that also has a stun on it, if I remember correctly. So the characters I imagine are able to respond to that strongly are the Man-at-Arms, the Hellion, and the Occultist, for various reasons. So the Occultist, of course, is able to strip off Block and Strengthen with the upgraded version of Weakening Curse. They can remove the Strengthen with Weakening Curse, it can remove the Block with Vulnerability Hex. Either way, because the second phase also focuses around dodge and critical, the Occultist is just an all-around good option. Other noteworthy possibilities, using the anchoring capacity of things like the Bulwark... No, the Bulwark variant of Stand Fast doesn't do it. What is it? Where's the anchoring skill? Hold the line. Hold the line immediately puts the Man-at-Arms back on the front line and forces him to stay there. So that's a decent counter skill if the knockback goes through. Apart from that, I believe there's a leper path that has a big bonus to movement resistance. Yes, the poet has a 50% bonus to movement resist, which would set his movement resist to 80% at the baseline. It would be easy enough to get a trinket or poultice to max out the movement resist of the leper so that he's able to remain on the front line full time. And the Berserker... I know, yeah, the Berserker has a forward 1 lock skill in toe-to-toe. I think Breakthrough is bigger. Forward 2, remove Protect from the target. That's less effective. It also ignores Protect. It is rare in its interaction. It does something pretty unusual. So that's going to tell me that my ideal frontliners are probably the Man-at-Arms or the Leper, and not the Hellion. I like the Occultist as a backliner for the fight. In terms of our remaining supporting cast, the first phase is vulnerable to dot damage, but the later phases aren't. So we don't want to focus overly much on dots, but they could be very useful. In addition, the final phase aggressively uses bleed and horror. Because of the bleed effect, the Plague Doctor might be quite effective, since we can remove bleed with both. We can remove bleed with Battlefield Medicine, but also possibly prevent it with Ounce of Prevention. But we don't have any horror control on this. Let's see. I think upgraded Indiscriminate Science removes tokens, but not dots. And in terms of the new paths, the Alchemist path gets a lot of extra bleeding resistance, which is handy. The Physician's Ounce of Prevention also gives some stress resistance, which is possibly strong with regards to the incoming horror effects. As for horror removal, it's really hard. The Intermezzo's Inspiring Tune gives stress resist. The Virtuoso gives a a possibility of a stress resist buff hitting any given party member, but he's got minus 20% bleed resistance, so he's probably going to get wrecked. In terms of other anti-stress skills, Raucous Revelry can remove Doom from the Hellion. Can't remove it from anybody else. Can be a pretty potent party stress relief, but it's a little clunky to use. You can't use it every turn either way. Over here, let's see. Bolster can remove stress, but it can't mitigate. It can't remove or mitigate Doom. There are pretty few mechanics to remove. No, it's not Doom. Horror. There are very few mechanics I've found that actually deal with horror. Okay, the Vessel's upgraded version of the protection skill has a stress relief tag on it. I didn't know that. And this guy's got nothing going on. Reflection is pretty handy. Withstand is pretty strong going into the final phases. Things like Break and Solemnity are also pretty good. I'm loosely interested in the idea of a leper that might even use Revenge alongside a Flagellant on the Maniac path that takes away his negative tokens with Lash's Gift Steal All Negative Tokens effect. It's interesting. I don't know if it's good enough, though. I haven't seen enough of the Flagellant skills, I think, to make use of them in a good way. Yeah, the Flagellant still has a lot to go. A little bit more for the Vestal. Right now I want to unlock more for the Occultist. The Leper stuff, I think, is probably pretty reasonable or more of the same. I haven't gotten a lot of the Jester. I've only got one event left for the Runaway. The last event for any character always unlocks 2 skills. The Grave Robber's like a non-functional character right now. Half of their synergies are locked up in these last couple skills. It's really annoying that I keep not finding the altars while running Grave Robber characters. Okay. So if my ideal characters are either a Man-at-Arms or a Leper, I think I almost certainly want these two to make up my backline for Ravenous Reach. Let's see, we've got a holdover Plague Doctor from a Victory. They're unfortunately a braggart, but other than that, they're pretty good. The Jinx is quite strong. Weak Grip can be annoying, but we'll be playing them as a Ritualist without focusing on any melee skills, and that's fine. So with our frontliner being the Man-at-Arms or the Leper, the last one I'm stuck on is the second line. If it's Ravenous Reach, a Yellow Hand Highwayman with some bleed support sounds like a pretty strong option. Highway Robbery turns into a very strong skill against Ravenous Reach. So that would make the full party look kind of like this, is what I'm thinking for my takedown. Calm is very nice. So I'm thinking Yellow Hand, we're going high bleed. As for the Man-at-Arms, the only Man-at-Arms variant I think I have a really good mastery of is the Bulwark, but it's noteworthy that the Sergeant is actually movement immune. He can't get shoved around. Is it listed? It's under quirks. It's not actually listing the movement resist. Is it tied to something? It's just not triggering on this panel. Huh. Bolster skills can remove bad tokens, but I don't think we have those. And we've got effect resistance on allies. So the Sergeant's powers are kinda subtle, but probably pretty good. I think that 20% tag at the end of each ally on turn start is I think that's referencing the entire buff. If it had 20% on each of those lines, there would be individual buffs. I mean, I could go for just some unlocks. Jester, Grave Robber, Occultist, that's viable. I want to push for the boss. The Occultist is part of the team that I want to push for the boss, but I don't think the Grave Robber and the Jester are. If I had inferior quirks on this team, then I'd prefer to just build things up. This team is actually quirked up in a pretty good way. I like what they've got going. I think I am going to try this on the Sergeant build. We'll be using the Surgeon path here and the Ritualist path here. I'm going to try to get access to an Amnesis during the run. And if I like what it's looking at, if I like what this is looking like, then I might try to switch up the path mid-run, which you can do at the ends. But we don't usually want a weak grip version to be doing that build because it's focused on Sacrificial Stab and Binding Shadows. Let's see. I think I want to make some adjustments here. The Sergeant is the low damage variant with bonuses on the bolster skills. This also means he's my only, what's it called? He's my only baseline stress relief character. So bolster's definitely staying in. We're probably using Defender. He's movement immune as a Sergeant, so we never need to hit hold the line. Let's see. I can possibly use Courageous Abandon. I like it quite a lot. I don't know if we ever use Stand Fast. With the damage penalty, Retribution's a bit less interesting, but it is good in general. Command is a new skill I picked up for him. It's pretty interesting. Flip a blind to a strengthen. What does that do on upgrade? Huh? Huh? That's the same. It removes the cooldown? That's so weird. Okay, so the upgraded version of that is just you can click it every turn. Alright. Let's see. Upgraded Bellow. Upgraded Bellow removing critical could have some impact on the boss. Hold the line picking up a stun is pretty cool. It's also noteworthy that Hold the Line is giving 2 shields and a meaningful attack. And a possible stun on the upgrade. I find Ramparts really consistently useful. Let's see. I mean, this is a pretty reasonable build for the character. The question here is, Courageous Abandon is a lot more useful if you're using it alongside Stand Fast. On its own, it's a little harder to use. I'll think about it more as the run goes on. As for this build, we probably just remove Sacrificial Stab for Vulnerability Hex, and that's fine. And this is very normal for the way I run this character. I'll flip back and forth between Cause of Death and Indiscriminate Science as the run is going on, but otherwise this is a very normal Surgeon build. Let's progress. If I'm being optimal, since I started the game with a roast pig, I don't want to use that until after clearing the first area to try and take advantage of the stress relief.
Comforts are exhausted. Ahead, only trial and tribulation. The bulwark of your denial is giving way.
All right, let's roll. Oh, I need to adjust this a bit. With the yellow hand, I definitely want a different skill set, but it's fine for the first fight. I forgot to doctor him up. Let's see. The next character acting being that. Demon's Pull to Incision.
collaboration confers
Okay, so
advantage.
it's on the start of the turn overall. There's that chance to pop this buff because I'm playing the Sergeant variant. It's actually pretty strong. Yeah, Bolster is currently removing Vulnerable, and after upgrades, it'll also be able to remove Weakness. Might help in various cases. What I need to consider right now is how well this setup applies to other bosses before I make it to Ravenous Reach. Oh, made this a little awkward for myself. I noticed that my Occultist has no bleed resistance. I think that's because this is a holdover Occultist. Wait, no, it isn't. Let me double check. Lower debuff resistance. 15% stress resist is meaningful. That's pretty good.
Are you shaken? There is so much worse.
Okay, he was at that point from a debuff that I didn't track. Let's equip some other things while we're at it. I'll equip the buttressing band here. The snappy swig doesn't matter unless somebody gets over 8 speed. With take aim, we might wind up getting there, because take aim does give a haste bonus, doesn't it? Where is it? There it is. Only the upgraded version. I don't know how much speed that actually applies to the roll. We'll see if that works or not. You're the only person in the party using any ranged skills, so we'll do that there. I'm not going to equip the Warhorn yet. I'd actually want to save that for a very, very long time, if possible. And the Clarifying Carcanet won't have any impact for a long time. Yeah, I did one run earlier today, as I said, to try and get unlocks, and the problem with it is you literally spawn entire maps that give you one opportunity to hit a shrine. So you do a run dedicated to it, and you only get one unlock. So it's just hard to focus on. And that's even with me going down to lower difficulties. I'm not sure what to make of it or how to improve it. I need to change the skill set for the Highwayman. Be removing Pistol Shot and Tracking Shot for now. We want to add Highway Robbery, which is kind of a signature skill. I could run Double Cross. We'll run Double Cross for now. I think it's pretty good. I mean, adding Vulnerable and Self-Block is pretty cool. The damage on it is pretty low. Oh wait, I need to be, where is it? What I need is Open Vein. Do we run Open Vein over Wicked Slice? I want to hold on to Duelist's Advance, just in case he falls back to the back rows. So I'm going to remove Double Cross. I think Double Cross is a luxury skill, unless you're trying to tank with the Highwayman, which you certainly can. I think you can run a build that's all about, you know, Duelist Advance, Double Cross, Point Blank Shot. You just operate on the front 2 ranks. A very good way to play the rogue. Yes, everything else is fine. At the Wainwright, we'll equip the bottle case just because we have it.
Vital to survival is sharpened steel.
The bottle case is considered medical gear. Who has the boost from medical gear? Road gear, food gear, tinker's gear. The Pygmy Pliskin is the one related to medical gear, and that's a big heal guy. I have 2 party members with pretty viable healing skills, so I'd probably rather take the Wolf Cub or the Slime. Let's see. My available stuff here, we've got a Sprawl Almanac, is pretty interesting. There's more medical equipment, but I don't really want to use that.
Consider your position.
Devious Plans is enemy advantage chance for Iron Banded Wheels. Oh, seeing every resistance encounter and having more resistance encounters could really help us out with early mastery. So I'm going to try and take this and just do a lot of hard fights early.
Secrets.
In terms of the most meaningful upgrades on the party, Vulnerability Hex and Weakening Curse are still, as always, really important things to grab. We're going to the Shroud, so we've got a lot of incoming bleed. That might make Battlefield Medicine a good early upgrade. I always like Take Aim as an early upgrade. It's pretty good. I don't want to go for Ounce of Prevention. It's a little much to take now. I think Cause of Death with the Mark might turn into a pretty valuable skill later, because we've got good ways of utilizing the Mark with Rampart and Open Vein. Let's see. Take Aim is just a highly efficient skill. It's always difficult for me to turn down this upgrade. I need to try the Sharp Shot Occultist again now that I have Double Tap. It's exciting. The Surgeon Plague Doctor is not to be underestimated. It's a very damaging build. I don't need to add Daze to Blinding Gas. I don't think that's good enough. Although, you can combine Rampart with Blinding Gas, because dazing a dazed target can cause a stun, which is quite good. I think I want Vulnerability Hex for 1. Dodge is really pesky, and being able to annihilate dodge stacks is amazing. Let's see. I don't want to be too passive by upgrading Defender, and I don't really want to upgrade damage-oriented things over here. What are my combo starters? So, my combo setup skills are basically just Blinding Gas, Demon's Pull, and Weakening Curse. Blinding, wait, does Abyssal Artillery? Yeah, Abyssal Artillery also has a chance. So, getting Abyssal Artillery or Blinding Gas upgraded for the better Mark chance might add somewhat to the party, but my Mark exploits target frontliners, and those are both backliner effects. I could also get the upgrade on Highway Robbery. I'm going to go for the Highway Robbery upgrade. Going from removing to stealing is pretty great. We're a little redundant on token steal and a little low on damage because we didn't upgrade any damage skills. Open Vein and Incision will be high priority upgrades moving forward. We also want to make sure we get the upgrades on Weakening Curse and Weird Reconstruction. They're pretty clutch. We probably won't bother with an upgrade on Demon's Pull because we don't have a reliable means of gaining the empowering effect. The vulnerability we sometimes get from Ritualist, we may be able to offset from time to time with Bolster. That'll be exciting. We will want the upgrade on Bolster down the line so we can remove Weaken and get the extra stress relief and the bigger block. As the Sergeant, it's a big skill for us in a number of ways. I'm not excited about most of the other upgrades here, but we'll probably take a Defender upgrade as early as second in. Alright. Need to buy food. Alright, there's our food. We've got 32 gold to spend on other things. We're going to have incoming bleed effects, but we've got no bleed mitigation in our combat items. I want to get a clarifying poultice between now and the end boss. Our stun resist on the Sergeant is very important. Plus 20 alter, I believe, is upgrades the character's just gotten over time. One clarifying poultice will set him to 90 resistance for the final boss. That's basically good enough. The meditative totem has a chance to remove a negative quirk. This is an item I've unlocked really recently. Let's see. Braggart, Lazy Eye, and Tippler. Braggart is the problematic one here. So I could try and remove something from the Surgeon. It's 12 gold out of my 24. The Mop and Bucket is stronger, but I don't have stress to relieve. So it's not that meaningful. We'll probably get enough trinkets along the way to not worry about it. Oh, I'm gonna go with the slime. I think the slime effect is just very strong. These are all reasonably strong stagecoach items, but I'm going to hold out for the opportunity to pick up an indelible trinket later. The Fisherman's Net has new synergies with some items that have been added in, but I think I'll get enough chances to get a look at it that I don't want to bother. I'll just buy some whiskey flasks to start on relationships. Getting strong relationships will be the most important on characters who need stress relief. To try and prompt a favorable relationship, a hopeful relationship. I've been thinking about stress relief in the game for a while, and the conclusion I've come to is the only really good way of relieving stress is to have characters with a hopeful tag. There are very few stress relief skills that are kind of efficient actions to take other than that. I mean, you're supposed to just keep it over the baseline anyway. But looking for big stress relief skills the way I'm looking for big healing, it has to do something beyond stress relief. I think upgraded bolster does that. Okay, my goal is to hit a lot of resistance encounters. We can hit 2. We don't want to take the Lair. We've got a guaranteed Shrine of Reflection for the Occultist. So, yep. Let's see. I'm gonna have the Oblivion Tear at like 3. No, resistance encounters reduce the Oblivion progress. The locations we cannot see can't be, they can't be resistance encounters.
And so they
Fishfolk.
must fall.
Ah, we can start them off with, what is this debuff? Come on, need to. How do I see? I'm supposed to be able to hold Alt and mouse over the debuff. I don't get to know what the debuff is. That's really annoying. I'm gonna go with the Occultist option that gives them vulnerable then. Stream working well? Yeah, it's going fine. Got the right category and everything? Yep. Whoop! Oh, dang it. I clicked back on screen and clicked the wrong button immediately. Alright. Let's see. Do I want to go for Abyssal Artillery on this? Yeah, the damage value is actually quite high. Oh, that's a good high roll. Yeah, with that vulnerable debuff, we should be able to make pretty quick work of this fight, given how early on it is. Let's see. Adds a death sentence. We pushed you further forward. Let's see. Vulnerability hex, probably. Oh, we picked up critical as well as strength. So that's a one-shot here. That was the bright light strengthening. And that's the fight. I took a little bit of extra stress by misclicking, but otherwise we're fine.
Until the next test is put before you.
Okay. It doesn't matter much if I take the path on the left or the right. Let's see. With no loathing, I can take 2 loathing, reduce it back to 1, go back up to 2. And I may not be able to clear that by the end, so we want to take whatever's on the left. Loathing looks like it's my most relevant obstacle on these various roads. Yeah, I can lose an extra wheel damage. We're not predicting more than 2 of those through the rest of this. Looks like we've got a hospital. I've got enough gold to remove Braggart from our plague doctor.
She understands the futility of her work, but undertakes it nonetheless.
Get out of here. Okay. I could pick up something like a bandage or a healing salve. It's not bad. Oh, there's the alembic. The alembic has a synergy with our other stagecoach item, so I'm gonna buy it. These poultices aren't too meaningful. I did pick up clotting powders on the road. We should equip that. The Pouch of Lie can be occasionally useful. In terms of goals, Killing Blow on Fanatics, use Defender twice, Sack Stab, Smoke Bomb. Oh, we have a little memory readout here. Yeah. So that's our carryover benefit, is a little disease resist. It's very minor. Okay, so we've got a road fight going into a resistance encounter. No problem on both counts.
Perhaps you are finding your courage at last.
I've been wondering how road banter is, how that works. Do you get better road banter if the party is unstressed and at high health, or does it matter? I think that kind of thing, there's like a confirmation bias there for me. I feel like I get more negative banter when the party's already stressed, but I have no idea if that's true. You're not set to bleed to death. I want to get damage on this guy. So we're going with a very spread out damage profile, which I generally don't like to do, but it's technically more efficient in terms of the bleed ticks. So let's see if that can play out. I don't really care to use Defender right now while the rest of the party has block stacks. That's not very efficient. So, you don't die in 2 turns. This should guarantee... Oh. Yeah, okay. A low roll from that would have guaranteed a bleed out at an appropriate time. But it looks like we're not low rolling at the moment. Let's see, can I hit 7 on Abyssal Artillery? Oh, it's not gonna happen. So the stealth is kind of a bummer here. I can't do much about it. Does putting him near the front row with a corpse clear have an effect? I don't think it does. The skill he uses coming out of stealth, I believe he can use from any rank.
Steady yourself.
So, there it is. And then you bleed out.
A steady subtraction.
So I wasn't able to prevent the crit, but oh well. Building up the mastery. That was mastery from a road encounter. I need to be really mindful of this, that road encounters can sometimes give you even more stuff than it feels like they should. Party members are generally agreeing about the approach here. It's really good. 70 light. We don't get any more torch strength for all these resistance encounters, so our torch strength will probably be pretty low by the time we're getting into the end of this. I want to get this cabin boy up to the front line, try and out him fast. I'll just take the heal effect here. It's a subpar use of the combo, but it's fine. Block plus, you say? That's a bit annoying, but this bleed should kill anyway. Yep. No worries about that guy from there. getting some lower rolls and more resists this fight. That's a good one.
The enemy weakens and
Okay, he's dead.
wins.
And you bleed out. And now we're in a better state. Not looking at weird reconstruction yet, so I think a weakening curse on the uninjured guy. And we'll just keep you healthy by exploiting that with a crush. Here we go. I actually want them to spread the love so that I get better use out of my block stacks. That's a death sentence in 2 turns. A little slow. Land the other crush.
Advantage.
6 heal. There's the bigger heal. Come out of this fight perfectly fine. Look rosy. Okay, if I can win 2 initiative rolls. Oh, I lost. Okay, so we take a little more damage, but the weakness stacks are pretty handy. Let's see, you're dead either way.
Take heart.
Yeah, there's not really another way to play this. Couldn't think of any more optimizations from there.
Greater threats await those who dare.
Picked up the clasp knife. That should be a good item for our yellow hand build. Especially in this area.
Whispers.
Going to the Lair doesn't help me much. Because I'm not going after the boss. Not with unupgraded damage skills, it's a death sentence.
Danger on this path. Desperate to survive the rising tide.
The Leviathan is a major damage check. You need to be able to hit a reliable amount of damage very quickly. You want a fast party. And it is definitely the kind of fight where, like, one blind at the wrong time can make everything just go tits up. Oh, we've got a creature den on the left. We can hit the creature den. That'll get us some a good amount more rewards for the chapter. And it looks like that gets us through the right amount of road hazards as well. Starting from the next area, we'll have the Alembic active. That should be pretty good, especially if we can get a Sluis this run. At the Shrine of Reflection, we're putting in the Occultist. I want to know what Anamnesis does.
Chapter 4. The Guest.
Kind of a 50-50 on whether we get the skill. We either get it or we don't. Oh.
Growing vitality
Preserve the
from assembled
seance.
mediums.
Brace yourselves.
Hold
I've
fast
crossed the
against
threshold.
faith and harness
Dimensional
the
Shambler. It's in with 45 HP. We've got a lot of skills. Okay. Target +2 stress. Steel combo. Why would we want to do that? Okay, maybe we'll need to do that to prevent the seance from getting murdered. Mind over matter. Heal, self-heal 33%, remove burning and bleed, remove all negative tokens. Since that's a self-target, I will get +2 stress and steel combo. Remove empower from myself, -10 stress on the target, remove combo. Okay, so weakening curse is the only thing I can do that hurts, eh? The searing stars. So our goal is to gain empower. I see channel strength is how we actually empower. Oh, it's got a cooldown. Okay. Do I just weakening curse it then? Okay. Its stress is very high. I think I need to do the shifting boundary right now. Removes my empower. Okay, there. It came after me at least a little bit. I can't do channel strength twice in a row. Drop another weakening curse. Okay, it's got the vulnerable. I'm not weak. I've got the strength. Searing stars. That was the lowest possible damage roll. Okay, I need to make sure I steal that token off of it, right? The combo token, that is. Can I shifting boundary them? I can. Cool. Okay, I think I need to do the self-heal skill. It's pretty good. Looks like we've basically gotten equilibrium going. It's a little messy. Let's do this, weakening curse. Then we will gather their power again. No, if he does that one, then I think I need a shifting boundary. So that's a setback. I could theoretically kill it by just plinking it several times with weakening curse. It's not the worst idea. I just need to make sure that I steal that token off it if it ever puts the token on, so that it isn't able to use the combo skill. It doesn't have any death resist tokens, so this should get us through.
Imbued with strange currents of infernal origin, his
apotheosis was complete. The Burning Stars. 8 to 16 ranged damage, sets up target mark, ignores block. That's pretty big, and that's very interesting. So it sets up a very strong, like, ranged damage build for him. I don't think that's necessarily what his current build succeeds at, does it? No, this build is much more about landing curses. There was another occultist setup that specifically has bonus ranged damage. So a bonus percentage range damage with a big hit like that, be a pretty big deal.
At least it should
Sorry,
be.
everybody who doesn't want to go to the Creature Den. We're totally going to the Creature Den. I forget what the Creature Den is like for this area. Every zone has kind of a unique Creature Den, from what I've been able to tell. I don't think this one is necessarily covered in spiders. Okay, he dies in 2.
Steady yourself.
Ow. It's annoying. Let's see. Just gonna put a weakening curse on the only one that's yet to act to try and reduce the incoming damage. Oh, he went for his stun skill. Jinx trigger's pretty good. This is a pretty fine time to start throwing out defenders, I think. Although I'm not that hurt. We've got a bolster stress relief. Let's do this. Still gives us a block stack, which is pretty good. I think that second bleed will out him. Oh, the resistance. Bummer. Okay, so he'll die in dots after he gets one more action. Man, I forget that the Jinx can cause a combo as well.
Empowered,
It's just pretty dang good.
emboldened.
I kind of want them to stop slapping my occultist around. Well, good block.
And vexation.
Okay, those guys are already dead. That should put our occultist back in the right spot. Man, they're really focusing him. Fortunately, our Plague Doctor can't really act from here, so I'll just Blinding Gas. I think our best bet from here is just to focus on taking them out with artillery. No bleeds. Another unfortunate forced move.
Cooperation is the key. A simple variable, easily resolved.
Can't hit the back row. I don't have a meaningful bolster. That doesn't help. Defender on my vulnerable ally.
The Leviathan's breath thickens the air.
And then Abyssal Kills. There we go.
In this world, wealth is worthless without purpose.
Okay, we've managed a lot of fights through here. Only got 2 mastery right now. Liable to get a 3rd mastery from the Creature Den. Creature Dens don't guarantee mastery, but they have a pretty high rate of giving mastery.
That we may properly excise our portion.
Okay. Ambush is a bummer. Let's see. Yeah, this can mostly be corrected. It's not that big a deal. I think I'll open with a Vulnerability Hex and aim to out the body pretty soon. And here, we're just going to be stuck on Duelist Advance for a bit. I want to preserve these vulnerable stacks for... I want to use at least one of them on this Incision. And he's already dead. Yeah, it's a big hard hitter.
In crisis,
I'll use Rampart to finish the position fixing. If I missed, I miss. Yeah, Fetch is a pull forward, and we just got Rabies. Okay, let's see. Here... we go for an artillery. Got through the dodge stack, it's pretty good.
An opportunity.
Bummer.
Squandered.
I need one more Duelist Advance to finish correcting the positioning. That's good, I really needed that to miss. I want this thing dead before it thinks to consume a corpse. I'm kind of opting not to take protective actions right now, but it's probably fine. Please hit. Thank you.
They falter, so press your advance.
Let's see. It's not quite the right time to set up defender or bolster. I want the corpses gone, as my targets are getting a little limited. Okay, that sets me up in the right positioning again.
Variable, easily
I
resolved.
want to take the dodge token, I think. It's either that or go straight to open vein. I'll take the token.
A miscalculation, perhaps.
I'll just have to fight through it.
Empowered, emboldened.
This would be a good time to have upgraded Rampart. Although even a baseline Rampart would be helpful there.
Take heart.
Surgeon is such a heavy hitter.
Not relent.
Okay. So here's the setup that I was more worried about for a lot of reasons. I'm going to open with Weakening Curse here. Not happening. Okay. Highway Robbery is really effective on these back row guys, these really dodgy spiders. But we're not going to have access to it immediately. I misused it a little.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Let's see. I want to set up Defender right now. Put it on my vulnerable character. Oh, cool. We get another quick action. I want to take away your dodge stacks. And then we'll rob your dodge stacks. And then probably a Rampart on you. I don't necessarily want to use Courageous Abandon here. It's just not good enough. We've already defended. Yeah. That's fine. Not super meaningful, but we didn't really have good options. Yeah, my only guy without a defensive lair. Alright. Thank you for the dodge.
Fight through the fatigue.
Excellent dodge. Okay, let's see. This could kill. It didn't, but oh well. Yeah, if that had gotten the upper damage range, we would have landed an execute. Okay, got the stun trigger. Artillery's really good from now. Good resists. Okay, steal these stacks.
Victory supposes strategy. Press on.
Ooh, nice efficiency. Let's see. Still over 50%? Alright.
Mistimed.
Oh well. These guys are still both doomed. Will I get a recovery action before this thing bleeds out is the big question. We'll stall with a take aim, and looks like we can get up to 2 healing options in. Okay, we landed the weird reconstruction, so we can just go for the kill. Actually, I wonder if the correct move there is Battlefield Medicine, because it might trigger a positive relationship.
And blaze the trail to
Discounted
your
trinkets.
redemption.
Let's hope we get some good trinket options at the next inn, but trinket options at the inn are usually unimportant. I had already seen that. Goal trigger. Okay, on to the Oblivion's Rampart. Oh, what's the effect of rabies again? I forget. I think rabies actually increases your damage output a little bit. Okay, it's got a small chance to give you strength. Small chance to give you strength, a decent chance of getting blind. It is a lot more survivable than real rabies, although that's true of most of the diseases in this game. But it's not actually one of the diseases I worry about picking up in the game. Okay, let's see. This party's not super great at controlling enemy positions and selective targeting. We might have to fight through the front lines. I don't have a good strategy for getting through the altar. Let's see. Even my third row targeting's not great. Got very high stress. Let's try to clotting powder out some of the stress, and I can try and focus the damage to out the cherub. Because we'll drop the abyssal artillery a couple times on these two back row guys. That's the issue with the yellow hand highwayman. I think it's very fun, because stealing tokens is just really interesting, but it's not good at back row targeting the way that the sharpshooter highwayman is. So we very commonly come into circumstances where we want to out a third or fourth row target, and we're not good at it. Fortunately, we picked up a blind. Yeah, bummer. It's just the way of it. Because the only target, well, the only ability we can click on that character to hit third row is Duelist Advance, and I don't always want to click that. I often don't want to click that. I want to use the occultist action to strip off this crit. Oh, I didn't have time to. Oh, I think he acted twice that round through ambition.
Steady yourself.
Bit of a bummer. Oh yeah, those clotting powders are coming in clutch.
Emboldened.
I don't really need to drop that on you. You're fine. Pick up this heal. Ooh, crit. Yeah, that was a really good clotting powders use. Kind of took me out of the danger zone and back down to a safe spot. Okay, abyssal. Still not getting the high roll. Alright, I will take your awesome-looking tokens, please. Good damage roll might out here. Didn't happen. Oh, got an 8 bleed stack. So he's gonna drop the Death's Door. With a block stack, I don't know if I can kill. We got it. Okay, from here, I think we use the pull skill on the altar and we can take it out. We took a bit of damage on the frontliners, but with the bleed resists, these guys aren't that scary. Oh, well, he's not going to die for a while at that rate. Let's see. I guess we'll start stacking bleed. It's not meaningful while he's regenerating terribly much, but we can kind of float the bleed stacks. Let's see. Okay. Yoink. Once again, I'm asking myself if only I had upgraded Rampart for the stun. So that's definitely going to be the priority upgrade when we check in at the end. Okay, that bleed kills him.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Let's see. I can ignore and remove the block even if I don't have block myself. I just pick up a vulnerable stack to do it. I could steal the crit, but it's not really meaningful, since I'll be stealing the crit anyway with a weakening curse. And with him on weaken, I don't care even if he hits a vulnerable character on the front row. Oh, scratch that, he still had critical. What? Oh, this is an unupgraded weakening curse, it doesn't remove that. Ah! What a blunder.
The small foundation of trust.
And we're fine. You can afford to make mistakes like that in the first zone.
Weaken them. Let another make
Second zone on, the game just has no mercy for you. It's like, alright, you've had your fun. Just die. I can freely rampart this for a daze, and that sets me up for a strong kill next round, without taking any further effects. And I can battlefield medicine here. So the daze trigger also holds off the dot, which is a little important because it lets you do small optimizations. Like this bolster giving me a stress relief. Doesn't seem like there's anything else too interesting we can do. Just let him bleed out here.
Greater threats await those who dare.
Ooh, a greater hail draught is pretty good. It's just a generically strong trinket somebody will like to have. We're still far from triggering clarifying Carcanet. But this over here gives us a pretty strong crush interaction in terms of the self-heal. Picked up some bandages, those are neat. Alright, we took a lot of carriage damage going through that area. Oh, a stimulating poultice, those are neat. It's pretty good, pretty good.
Rest now.
Okay, yes, Spelunk incomplete, that's fine. We gain 2 quirks, Pillager Slayer and Sprawl Scrounger. Pillager Slayer is pretty useful. And 3 extra mastery. I think that's actually an extra effect from Ye Olde Guildhall. That was not from the Bulbous Venom Gland or anything. So we've got 6 mastery to work with. Pretty good. Drop the whittling tools. We have enough food for the party. Because nobody objects to slime mold. And we gained robust. Cool. We'll go ahead and hit up the roast pig now. So I've got no worries about stress relief. Our routes.
Road a winding torment.
Let's see. Movement immune. We have no ability to step backwards. Our rank targeting is mediocre. We're not good at killing the librarian. I think we can meaningfully target the harvest child.
The tainted crop continues to spread its tendrils of rot and pestilence.
Let's get fully repaired.
Spend what you can, for wealth no longer has meaning. If indeed it ever did.
Okay, let's see. Stimulants. We've got lower trinket cost, but I don't think it's going to mean anything. Yeah. It's like a Gilded Mind or a Bouncer's Belt aren't terrible, but I don't really want to go for them anyway. Is there anybody who needs Wild Tea? Lazy Eye, Tippler. No, party's pretty good. Let's see. Disease removal is barely a thing. The Songbook of Amorous Ballads is a very strong item for building relationships. I wish I could afford the compress kit. Oh, that's more items for the mortar and pestle. We don't have that. But we do have the Alembic and Retort bottle case synergy. So let's see how much stuff that produces as the game goes on. Might be pretty great. I definitely don't care about Ichor bombs going into the next area. Stimulants could be good. What's our stress levels at? Nothing. Let's see. I think I'm going to pick up the combo of touching dirges and boxing gloves.
To ease the rigors of the road.
Do I want to keep stockpiling money to try and trigger the Caracol, or the Carcanet? It is a lot of money to get the Carcanet to trigger. I think it's fine to not buy more right now. We have a lot of mastery going into Chapter 2. Or, not Chapter 2, Zone 2? Area 2? I think it's Area. Region. Region 2. Region is the technical term. I've been stumbling on that for a while this game. Okay. And, have both of our damage dealers do a little boxing. Okay. You know, there's a question of do I want to shift anybody over to stained trinkets? I don't think so. My options aren't compelling enough for that. We might get some use out of these bandages. I don't care about using these poultices just yet. So the benefits we face in dealing with the Harvest Child, I can use certain skills on Barristan to prevent the Highwayman from stepping into his square. So if I remember right. Okay, it's only a meager possibility. I could use Hold the Line to self-anchor, but it's not a great interaction because I can't use it while I'm already on the front line. I'd have to be starting Barristan, one line back. The best interaction I've got is that Rampart can keep the Harvest Child from getting to the front of the line, and that'll prevent him from using his strongest attacking skill. Apart from that, bleeds are reasonably effective against him. I have access to Ounce of Prevention if I want to try and stem the flow of the incoming blight damage. Do I want to switch out Cause of Death for Indiscriminate Science? What are their upgrades here or am I not aware of? Oh, that's how Disorienting Blast works. So it's got another stun when target combo effect. Pretty good. Magnesium Rain can go to 3 burn on the entire enemy row. That's pretty cool. Doesn't matter for me right now. Battlefield Medicine is definitely on the upgrade list. Let's head over to the Mastery Trainer and get Crunk.
When survival demands it.
Definitely upgrading Rampart. That's one of our short list skills. Take Aim and Open Vein are both pretty strong suggestions. I want to upgrade Incision because it's almost the only button I ever hit on this character. We're definitely upgrading Weakening Curse. Okay. So from here, we've got 3 choices. Let's see. I think Open Vein is going to be necessary if I'm going to be targeting the boss. We need our strong damaging skills to be online. I think the Ounce of Prevention upgrade is maybe a little luxurious, and I'm not sure if I can afford it just yet. The Blinding Gas upgrade starts looking pretty strong when we're parrying it along with other dazing skills, since I think we're going to be using Rampart very often. The Bolster upgrade, I think, is a good one. I want to be able to remove both of those effects when I hit Bolster. He's essentially an important part of our support core on the team. As far as other effects from the child, I definitely don't need to upgrade Duelist Advance or Wicked Slice, but take aim as a reasonable upgrade. Battlefield Medicine is probably a good upgrade because of the self-remove dot. I don't have a lot of other blight mitigation choices. We don't use Demon's Pull for the boss. We don't actually upgrade Demon's Pull almost ever. The one extra pull is meaningful. The other effects of the upgrade are not good enough. The Weird Reconstruction upgrade is probably not necessary when we have a backup healer. The Abyssal Artillery upgrade is pretty good, and the Defender upgrade could be very important damage mitigation. Let's see. I think the Crush upgrade is a luxury. Since we're on the Sergeant. If we were on a different build, I'd think otherwise. Right, I'm gonna use the restroom while I crunch my brain about it. I'll be right back. Okay. I want to focus on upgrading damage skills. So it's gonna be Abyssal Artillery. That's the most relevant damage skill that is unupgraded in the party. Let's see. Yep. So, close that out. I might need the Warhorn. So we'll start with it equipped for now. Wait. Do I want to push my relationships any further? Because I could get another songbook of touching dirges. Neutral, neutral, friendly, friendly, friendly. Yeah. Let's try and juice it. We picked up Melophobic. Oh, but we triggered some very, very big relationship pulses there. So 30% chance across all people, 65% chance on both of those options. Okay, yeah. Very strong. We only got one relationship. Amorous. Okay, that gives us a bit more health stability.
Desire will never die.
The vulnerability hex here is the best one, of course. So the issue with going after the Harvest Child is that my party doesn't have as much movement flexibility as I would usually want for this. So I might wind up getting actions locked across both of the people on the front row.
And abhorrent.
Okay, we've got a lot of creature dens. Could I hit multiple creature dens? Oh wow, I can. I've never actually done that before. Wait, where's the lair? The lair's on the left. Okay. I'm gonna hit 2 creature dens and then probably transition to the left path and see how things go. 2 creature dens is pretty aggressive, but we just got a lot of upgraded attack skills. If this first creature den fight goes rough, do I have a backup strat?
The loathing
Oh, not really. If this first creature den goes rough, I might be able to take an avoidance
Sharpen your
option
blade,
in the second
and
dialogue.
we may properly excise our portion.
Okay, that's not too bad a trait. We've got 2 ordained enemies. Let's see. Getting the damage started is more important than removing that dodge stack. Because I don't need to focus out the dogs. Let's see. To do that. Don't need to do that. Just get in damage. It'll take 2 bleeds. Got put in a bad spot, but Ounce of Prevention is reasonably strong in this set of fights, so I'm going to go do that for now. Abyssal Artillery reduces that clock by 1 turn, and if it hits there, it could be really good. 16 damage.
slow suffering begins.
And you bleed out. Good Jinx proc. Okay, we go into this with Demon's Pull. Alright, the rest of this is downright cozy. Let's fix the positioning.
Empowered.
With 2 dodge stacks, we're going to want to steal that.
Victory supposes strategy. Press on.
Now we can focus this target out.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Let's see, vulnerability hex here, I think. 3 dots, 14 damage. Oh, I can only eat 1 stack of this on Rampart anyway. So we'll overkill it a bit. This is probably a little inefficient. I think splitting the targets is the better move. Yeah, definitely. I could have gotten some damage on the worm and then just killed with the Paracelsus. It mutates up, but I don't think it gets another action for the round, right? Okay, cool. Bummer to burn a critical stack like that. Weakening Curse. I can use Courageous Abandon to remove that stack. Is that better? It's 2 to 5 damage versus 1 damage. Oh, no, we can trigger a stun. Let's trigger a stun. It can't do anything. Now it gets to sit there and watch itself bleed to death. There's your stun. And I move into the next round with kind of a full retinue of actions left. This new crew spawns in while I still have 3 more characters left to act. I will steal your block plus tokens.
That another may finish the work.
And Surgeon is just doing Surgeon stuff. Looks like 3 Abyssals to kill those targets. We picked up a Strength. It's probably still 3. Well, 2 for that guy. This guy in the back is Ordained. Let's see. Okay, you'll Death's Door at the start of your turn.
An unavoidable end.
That is fine. Blinding Gas is probably a good action here. Okay, it got the Necrophagia, so it's not going to die. I could have stopped that. Alright, so playing around Necrophagia was the better play. And the blind didn't trigger.
Empowered. Emboldened.
Let's see. I don't have a good Rampart here. I've got a decent Courageous Abandon. It just doesn't do much damage if I don't have block up. Is this a Defender or a Rampart? Crush doesn't usually kill there. Let's go for a Defender. Okay, let's see. I want this guy down before he can land his critical attack. He's not acting first, right? Okay, that guy is acting first. Yeah, nothing really going on with that. Actually, 7 times 4? Ah. Alright, just gotta tag him with something. We can't Demon's Pull him. Artillery there. Cool.
A lesson taught is a lesson learned.
And I'll use a Crush for this kill. Steal tokens. It's probably going to Necrophagia. No? Okay. I might need to spend an action on corpse removal, depending on how these damage rolls go. Let's put you at the end of the line. Actually, Pouch of Lie should be pretty efficient here. So few use cases for Pouch of Lie.
Can be brought to heel.
Vulnerability Hex for the heal, or Weakening Curse to reduce the damage. I think Weakening Curse is the better option here. He's not ordained, so his damage swing isn't actually that great. Okay, so we saved 2 damage instead of healing 5. That was technically the wrong action to take. Duelist Advance will get me an extra heal. Now we'll Vulnerability Hex for the extra heal. And then finish with Crush for the self-heal there.
A simple variable. Easily resolved.
Alright, that was really clean overall. Peculiar Secretion. That will clear out our rabies at the very least. We gain some more diseases, can fix those too. On to the next creature den in our journey. Looks like we're losing our armor. Or lie. Doesn't matter very often. I definitely don't need to hit lie twice in the same encounter, so it's fine if it's not equipped. The neutralizing powders could be really good in the lair. As long as I make sure I get that on the bar. Into the den. We're fighting again. Let's go. We've got a maxed relationship on our frontliners. Pretty good. Strong start. Abyssal. We do have an ordained enemy. I kind of overlooked that. I should have put my bleed on there, but I didn't. Oh well. Okay, Necrophagia. He won't take another aggressive action this turn. And he wasn't already big, so he doesn't pick up critical or strengthen tokens. He just turns into a different enemy. 6 HP. Can we out that? Only on a high roll. Let's check for it. We got it. Cool.
A petty hindrance.
Good test. Let's see. I want to highway robbery here. Because I'm pretty sure this incision outs this.
Another impediment.
And
Clear
I
with
can Demon's
impunity.
Pull to out the corpses to prevent any further necrophagia. Yeah, this target doesn't really have strong options left.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Our ideal kill timing is at the start of next round. Okay, that's a bit much.
Weakens and wanes.
I don't want to attack it again, because it'll die a little early. Oh, I can bolster to remove that weaken. Okay, it bleeds down to Death's Door, and then my first action next round takes it out. And then I can see the other group in. And have a full 3 actions to address them. Glad to have it for this crew, too. I don't have my vulnerability hex. Bummer. Let's just remove a stack each.
Timed. Misdirected.
Let's see. I'm gonna go for Defender. Let's see. Here. It's either Blinding Gas or Ounce Prevention. Go for the gas. It's more of a high roll. And here I'm gonna rob these 2 dodge stacks. I really like to get dodge stacks out of the way, man. Protected. Okay. I can start on killing now. Okay, we've got a lot of bleed stacks there. We want to bandage that pretty soon. That's a nasty timing for a stun with the 2 vulnerable stacks out.
Stumbling and stupefied.
And there's another stun out too. Okay. That is technically already scheduled to die. It's just going to take a bit. So we'll let it have the 1 extra action. Wait, was he my bandage holder? Did I mess up? No, Plague Doctor hasn't. Just gonna keep dropping artillery. Okay. Oh, we were stunned on the Plague Doctor, so we're not gonna be able to remove that bleed. Now he's picked up more blight too. Ouch! Ouch, man. Okay, I'm actually going to cut you out of your turn. Now we get the high rolls. This webbing's got vulnerable stacks all around. A bolster might have actually been a better action. Pouch of Lie lets me hit a better spider. Let's see. I think I want a weird reconstruction here. What are my competing actions? Demon's Pull doesn't kill. I don't think I have a really meaningful hex. Not compared to this. Yeah, this is really stacked up. Okay, we've got a really big heal coming in, because we can do bandage into battlefield medicine. Can do this too.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
Okay, we're stable again. Let's proceed to the end of the fight.
Incremental, but deadly all the same.
Oh, blind stack. Nasty. I'm gonna take aim to just dodge the blind stack. I'm not in the mood to roll the dice.
Cooperation is the key.
Here, I'm gonna go for bolster. Strip off all of those weakness stacks. Demon's Pull sets this up for a much easier kill, and outs the other corpse. Okay. I could use the other bandage, but I think I'll get a better chance for that later. You're dead. I think we're like 1 health short of a weird reconstruction. Let's use some amorous actions here to clean up. Let's see. Yep.
Straightforward and effective.
The critical token from the take aim actually was used on the amorous trigger there.
In crisis, no gain is insignificant.
Bulbous Venom Gland. Discounted trinkets again. I really prefer discounted in items or combat items, so we're always hoping to see, like, the big stinger. Let's see. I need to cross over to the left, because I do want to challenge the Lair. And I believe this is my only option to do so. So we're on a forced path for a little bit.
The loathing whispers.
Picked up some laudanum. I still have bandages to use. Oh, I finished using my pouches of Lie. I'm actually just going to equip more. That's been so useful.
Destiny will not be denied.
My, what's it called? My stress management so far has been pretty clean, so I don't care to equip laudanum. Although now I have 12 laudanum, which is kind of wild.
Shelves, laden with echoes of
books.
ideas.
And a Cultomaniac. So we're guaranteed a positive and a negative through the Occultomaniac interaction. Cultomaniac. Did I have Wild Tea or something? No, I thought I had an in-item, like, already on my person to mitigate stuff. I'd rather check the books. Void Sight can be handy. Got a Sprawl Almanac. Okay.
The loathing festers.
Could be useful. Resistance encounter. I cannot get back onto the Lair path if I do that. Bit of a bummer. Okay. It's possible we might be in a bad way in terms of our armor moving forward, because I can't see the road hazards. We can make a judgment after we hit the watchtower upcoming. We leave this alone.
Monument to a once prestigious career.
Basically, no matter what happens, we leave this alone. This is basically just death, isn't it? Is my run strong enough to risk the run and take this fight? I've never won this fight. I'm sitting on 3 mastery cash-ins. Possibly a 4th from fighting the boss. If I lose any characters, I don't think I can make it out of the act at this position. Oh, there's a little badge there. Huh, neat. My party's not that great at area damage or targeting the back line, which I think are both kind of necessary tricks to be able to get through the Shambler. We've gained Lost in Time. I've never seen that one. When stressed damaged, I can get dazed, lose a positive token.
Can wait.
But the character's speed just jumped up to an incredible value. And that's actually going to make them a lot stronger by virtue of that trinket. We are unfortunately taking a 3rd loathing. We have Void Sight, so we know we don't have another loathing before the Lair, and the Lair will reduce our loathing by 1. Or we'll die. That's also possible. We only have 40 light. That's something to note. Yeah. Likely going to be running into some enemy advantage. Okay, looks like we'll get out of here with 0 armor, but intact. And I believe our loathing will be okay. We're going to be hovering at 3 loathing. Killing a boss increases the torch. I think killing a boss puts the torch back to 100.
The landowners and peasants alike.
So if we can get through the Lair, we'll be okay. Just, you know, can we get through the Lair? Our party's not perfectly suited to this boss. And that's something I often avoid. Yeah, we did start our turn, 50% chance to gain critical, that's fair. Oh my goodness.
Incremental, but deadly all the same.
Okay, so Lost in Time is, if he's stressed, 30% chance to be dazed. Okay.
Analysis is the natural prelude to action.
All his good actions require him to be in a good position. It's only in 4th rank that he takes Wild Swing. He can still low blow from the 3rd rank.
Let us take a closer look at the thing.
This character cannot flash fire from the front row.
Well done.
And now he bleeds to death in that position. Demon's pulling the crack shot messes up the setup I just did. That's a pretty lethal friggin' incision, isn't it? Wow, I got a low roll and it resisted the bleed. Meanwhile, this man rolls up to town saying, like, I'm just gonna crit. Yeah, I mean, it's a kill versus not a kill. Take the kill. Constantly gaining critical tokens should also be some stress relief for him. Let's see. I think actually outing the bodies forces these two characters onto the front line. The front row actions for this guy are not,
In crisis,
like, they're not great. And we can also possibly trigger a stun. Okay, he had a lot of resistance on that, so these things add critical again. Okay. Okay, this is insane.
Bravo!
Oh, I see. That's why he didn't take the stun. Even a high roll that doesn't kill. It's fine, though. It's just damage. Take the amorous action. And finish the fight.
We are the flame, burning brightly for all the world to see.
Okay, this brings us to the lair. I've got the horn. I don't want to bring the laudanum. I do want to have the neutralizing powders available. Should be better than the bandages. And I've got a big stack of them. Is that affected by the stagecoach item? How do I look at my stagecoach equipment? There we go. Increase a stack. Yeah, so that applies to character equipment as well, I think. Because I don't think you can usually equip 4 of these at a time. So that's interesting. Z is the button to get rid of that. Stuck with, like, how do I get that off my screen? Hanging out. Okay, we're gonna be shadowy for this fight. Ugh. I don't have any interactions on shadowy. But, yeah, we need to take this for a dozen reasons. Frenzy is annoying. That's more damage.
Do you hear the child's cries? The fiend's strength dwindles.
We've got 3 ordained targets. I don't like taking both those debuffs there. Let's see. I think I want a weakening curse on the ordained livestock. Livestock are weirdly hard-hitting enemies. Like, that's 8 damage from the non-ordained one. Okay, they've moved me around in an unpleasant way. Let's see. There, 6 to 11. Oh, he has no bleed resist because of the combo interaction. We'll take that. Actually, if I'd saved that combo interaction, I could have gotten a stun out. Is that better? That might have been better. Oh well. Okay, they're not going to get jostled, but that daze is meaningful. Could be. Duelist advance in. And we've got a critical token, which is insane. Yeah, so with that incision and the ensuing bleeds, he'll die at the end of round. Appetite sets up Corpulent. Can we try to just out this body before it gets to use that Corpulent skill? Rampart here is probably not a good idea. Let's go for a Defender. That bleeds out. Do both of these have... I don't know if maids have inhuman appetites. I've never seen them use it.
Bravo!
Open vein. Weakening curse is probably a good fallback plan here to make sure this target doesn't get to do anything too cool or damaging.
Empowered, emboldened.
Nice crit. Okay, that bleeds to death.
Smallest variable can make all
That is our 100th gentry kill. Okay, the damage we took in this fight was a little high. So we'll try to be mindful of sneaking in a healing action during this fight. Oh, that's very doable here. So we want to out the two front bodies and then just tangle up the Lord for a bit.
Well done.
And while he's tangled, we can get out some healing interactions. Actually, I can just do this now.
This road cannot be walked alone.
Let's see. I don't necessarily want to rampart the livestock out of position, because I could wind up struggling to kill them if I move them around too much. Just gonna do this. Make sure you're dead, so that'll bleed out. That might trigger him into inhuman appetites. They prioritize that a good bit. I'm not sure how much. Oh, he's got feeding time interactions because the livestock is alive. So he's not going to go for that. That makes sense. He's going to wind up having a crap load of death armor tokens, so we'll be in this fight for a while. But from here, we can kind of just hold him down on weakening curses, and possibly even rampart stuns if I get these bodies out. I don't need to bolster. There's not a good crush. Let's just adjust the positioning a little bit. Okay, and he out of the other corpse. Got a rabies trigger, bit of a bummer. It happens. I mean, we do need to start killing. Okay, we're not injured enough to go for battlefield medicine. I can't get another weakening curse right now, right? Let's go for the vulnerability hex instead. Miss, but I still get the amorous. Okay, he got his corpulent action, but he was weakened for it. It's a lot of stress. It's a pretty good bolster. Keep that stress under control.
Stupendous.
Okay, he'll drop to Death's Door, and that's going to give him a, what's it called? That'll weaken him. Let's see. Yeah, that picks him up a little bit. Okay, so the party's got a bit of stress rolling around, but other than that, we're in a pretty good situation.
Malaise.
Our health is not low enough to actually use any more healing. But I can still get this amorous action off. Oh, I didn't think very hard about possibly removing Cause of Death. I think Cause of Death is still correct. Okay, we'll take him down, and I have time for another bolster.
Compassion quiets the howling mind.
Oh, I miscounted his death stacks. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm taking more stress on that. And I don't have anything else to do but kill him. Okay. That was a mistake on the stress heal. I should have just gone for the kill. Okay, this is going to be the tough one. Let's see, what else are we getting? Kitchen knives I'm not great with. The Curing Cuppa is just generally good, even if I'm not on a Blight strat. The Bumper Crop I haven't seen before. That's pretty wild. Yeah, alright. Well, we need to do this for a lot of reasons, so let's, in it to win it.
The harvest is here. Pity those with a place at the table.
Okay, which one is the one that... Okay, the second one is the one that interferes with our front row characters. Oh, I see this one also inflicts blind, while this one inflicts vulnerable. I've never paid attention to that before. So any wasted actions, I want to sink into the second one. Because if we're removing something, that's the one I want to remove. How's our debuffs? Okay, we lost our action on the frontliner, Barristan. Let's see. We'll be pretty much going for Abyssal Artillery on spare turns. And we want to outs prevention pretty early on. I'll also use Neutralizing Powders, might set us up for stress relief.
Cooperation is the key.
Chomp. Oh, lost in time. Okay, thankfully, Lost in Time didn't trigger twice because that daze could have upgraded to a stun. Looks like we'll have the option to Rampart. He's only got 30 stun resist. Okay, these guys are stepping forward. But Weakening Curse into Rampart, 90% chance to stun. Awesome. Okay, that's a really unfortunate set of, like, debuff triggers. So he'll step forward. That's a fine spot to stand, actually. Get in some good damage, get the blood flowing. A double action here is pretty good. It's odd that we've got strengthen on that from the torch. It's thankfully not meaningful. Okay. Vulnerability Hex? Yeah, I'm feeling it. He's got weakened for his crazy, terrifying action that he's about to do. There's pretty much nothing I can do about that either. He's just gonna do a scary on me. Cause of death damage is up to 29. We're also blind. We hit through the blind, that's good.
Measured and steady.
Yep, there's the Maws of Life. We got a resist on it. It's pretty good. Double resist on the Sapid Drippings. Thank you very much. As you can see, the Blight resist on him right now, 131%, 81% here. Putrid Meat is the one I want to keep chomping on whenever possible. Oh, that's interesting. That didn't trigger the critical. I thought it would. Cause of Death is up to... It's only showing 17 damage. Yeah, a lot of the bleed stacks fell off.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
His maximum health is down to 44. So he's certainly been losing a bit. Got a bit of a haircut going. Demon's Pull on the putrid meat does move the character back, and I think that's no, he
Let us take
I
a
don't think he
closer
can
look at the
use.
thing. As
Okay, both
repulsive as
Tantalizing
it is,
Tidbit and Sapid Drippings move him forward, and he's got 2 actions. So he's gonna move forward and then use Maws of Life if I don't make a corrective action. And the first one is the one that'll burn his weakness. So I'm gonna go for a Demon's Pull here. Sapid Drippings, Resistance, Stress Relief, Tantalizing Tidbit. This puts him at the front. And from here, we should be killing him. He's got 2 death armor, so we can't get an execute. Get the first armor break. If we resist mouthwatering aroma, we did not. Okay. We get the kill. Let's see. We get the kill, and I've got the spare time to drop a weird reconstruction.
unavoidable end.
Okay, very strong boss fight. Yeah, I usually like fighting this boss with bleed comps,
In memories.
and the extra knockbacks and the stuns really help. I didn't realize that boss stun resistance was so low. That's actually a very effective way of taking him out.
Loathing abates.
Okay, gotta drop 3 things. Is there anything I can equip on the party rather than dropping? Not really. I'll give up a vague trinket. Those are pretty weak. Oh, actually, Raven's Reach might be really good on this occultist. I'm doing a lot of range damage. It's unfortunate with rabies. I'll equip it after I've dealt with the rabies. I gained less light than I thought I would, so let's equip the Glimmers of Hope and try and burn them pretty soon. Equip the Curing Cuppa. Probably also the kitchen knives, right? Yeah, I'll equip them both in the same character. The gain on crit heal 2 works even if I'm not using the Noxious synergy, and the gain on blight resist is pretty good, although this is the area where it's strongest, so it's gonna stop being valuable pretty soon. I'm not planning on using cultist trinkets, so I'll just drop those guys. I think underutilizing cultist trinkets might be one of my big weaknesses in the game. I think they're often pretty strong. You can usually cultist trinkets to get like 50% damage on a character and a big bad resistance buff. As most of the dark impulses have some kind of very meaningful resistance on them. A hoarder. No, this is a cache.
The Wainwright awaits, eager to ply his
Okay, we got
trade.
adrenaline tonics and tea service. That's amazing. And the Hag's Hoard can be
Your
very
coach
good.
is laden. You can carry no more.
We're not diseased, so I can just go to the Hag's Hoard here. It's pretty good. Shimmering Powder, I think, is not one of my favorite combat items. I don't really need more lie. I like the pipeweed, I think. Adrenaline tonics are super strong. We want to hold those for later. I can drop the Sacrificial Host. This is the most effective region for it. Laudanum stacking to 10 is kind of crazy. Pretty wild. I don't want to drop candles. I kind of want the shrine map. I want advanced characters. Let me give up the Sprawl Almanac and the Buttressing Band. And let me honestly just give up a big fat stack of laudanum. I don't need laudanum badly enough to worry about it. Okay. We've got another cache on the way out too, so we're picking up a lot of stuff. Found caltrops. Tend to like those. Picked up lie. I'm not going to hold on to it. Drop both of them. Light is only at 14. I equipped the glimmers, but I haven't had a chance to use them. I hope the light doesn't zero out before I make it to the end. Let's see. I think I dropped some slime mold to pick up some cheese, right? That doesn't matter. Yeah, I can produce contraptions with the Tinker's Bench. I want to make use of bandages soonish. Do I want to use the laudanum? I'll tell you what. I want to use the crow's feet and the bandages while preserving the warhorn. The clotting powders are also still quite strong. I want to save the laudanum stack for the final boss. Linseed oil doesn't do a lot for me. I probably want to use Ravenous Reach. I think I'm going to give up on the shrine map. I really want the playing cards. And the relics. I definitely want the apples and cheese. We can drop the slime mold for the apples and cheese. I think I want the Tinker's Bench. What is my stagecoach looking like? We're adding tea service, so it looks like this is going to be our 4th stagecoach slot. I don't have any other competing stagecoach items to drop. It's probably okay. I'd rather not drop the pipeweed. I'm triggering the carcanet now. I have enough relics and baubles to run it. I'll drop the clotting powders for the Tinker's Bench, and I'll leave the rest. Who's going to wield the carcanet? So it's 20% max HP and 20% damage. Huge. I think I'll just replace the clasp knife. The clasp knife is good, but the enabled carcanet is huge. We're not going to be able to consistently enable it, and I think I probably don't run it for the final boss, because making it to the final boss with 75 relics and baubles in inventory feels like a failure state. Like, I should absolutely have used my relics and baubles before then. Torch went out, but we didn't get ambushed. Your torch can only be off for like a few fathoms before it stops, before you get wrecked. Okay, only one ordained enemy. That's pretty nice. I don't really want to be focusing the beacon, but we'll have to get an Eldritch Yoink. Oh, he actually threw out a horror. That, like, never happens. Actually, neutralizing powders aren't very strong. I could have swapped that before this. I want a blinding gas here. Oh, blinding gas hit checks for curing Kappa. Interesting. Got blind, but we're gonna try and hit through it. Didn't work.
Directed.
Okay. That's a little unfortunate, but whatever. Oh man, I didn't realize how much stress that causes. I guess I might as well burn the glimmers since I brought them. 4 glimmers later, they will stop having a strength chance, I guess. This isn't a great bolster action, but we're taking it.
Comfort in company.
I don't want to risk a meltdown here. I can just use both crow's feet. I have way more than enough combat items right now. Not in a hurt locker for those. Take 6 more bleed, please. Thank you. We've got 2 actions on the cherub this round because of ambition. Oh, he's resistant to melee skills. I haven't seen him do that before. I've only ever seen him do the ranged version. I didn't know he had 2 versions of that. They removed his giant amount of bleed stacks. Bummer. Well, burn some tokens, I guess. Okay, I absolutely need to get you to the front of the line. There's no way I'm punching through this guy if he's got melee resistance on top of all the support actions that he receives. Keep burning glimmers. I just don't think very highly of what glimmers do for you. I want to get defender active. Okay, that critical into that bleed kills it in 2 turns. Okay, so we've got 1 more action for the altar, and then it bleeds out. I want to land this Demon's Pulse so I can out the Cherub. Take this Rampart for a possible stun. Landed it. I don't think he bleeds out because of the regeneration stack, so we'll need to force an attack on that. And you're out, because we triggered another auto crit. Insane. Fight from here is mostly peachy, but I'd like to mitigate more stress. So we're going to try and keep hitting Bolster about as many times as I can.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Out the corpses.
What is it then?
Okay,
that
big
gazes
stress.
so intently from the abyss?
Occultist is in trouble. Okay, he's likely to melt down here.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
Yep, we triggered the meltdown. Okay, we've got 1 pretty bad relationship. This guy's not great at targeting 4th row anyway, so I'm not super worried about stuff. Let's use the last Glimmer, whatever. Set up a Daze on him, so I have a lot more time to act and correct things. Even if he's got 50% less melee damage taken, I can just layer up bleeds and he'll die anyway.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Oh, got a 0 roll there. Yeah, you be dazed.
Empowered, emboldened.
Or stress relief from Bolster is a very efficient action. I want to stall for a bit so I can get heals in. I'll use the bandage for the heal there. Okay, that puts him out of the battlefield medicine range. Don't have a bolster, so we should just go for the kill. Okay. We are moderately stressed going into the next inn. I don't care about most of this stuff. Not using I'm not going to use Sickening Silence, and I'm past the Disarming Dagger in terms of effectiveness. Do I want to discard something for the Silver Spoons? We can discard the Lie for these. So my bags are mostly occupied by money right now. Our inventory will look a lot better once we just do some spending at the inn. And I managed to free up 1 more inventory slot, too. Okay, so we've got 1 more region before the mountain, right? I lost out on a wax inoculant. Oh no, I still get it. If you get it when you hit the inn, it doesn't check your inventory size, it can overflow. if you pick it up on the road, it can't overflow your inventory.
There are yet places such as
So we picked
this.
up another 3
Little light
mastery,
still gathers.
diseases cured, trinkets discounted, and we gained quirks. Picked up Cosmic Slayer. Flawed Release is a bummer. Daredevil's weird. Lethal Feint is okay. It's a consolation prize effect. Alright. The Summit View. Our route. We can go to the Tangle or the Shroud.
Crumbling. And
Discretion, not
undone.
Valor. Malaise, Grave Calling, Spelunk. Care about Spelunk. Did I have an almanac at all?
Each improvement, a new variable in the equation of
Okay,
your
the bumper
fate.
crop is pretty wild. Take full
Repaired
repairs.
and refurbished. Ready for the
50%
leagues
trinket
ahead.
prices. We do have an indelible trinket, the Greater Gilded Mind. That's pretty good. And we've got a full selection of almanacs. We could pick up a Shroud almanac. Or I can try and keep my spending light to keep the Caracal active. In terms of our party status, I want to drop the playing cards straight away. We picked up Braggart? That sucks. I'm going to preference my weaker food stuff to preserve the apples and cheese for the final push. Let's see. I'm going to go for the Shroud. The Tangle, I'm just used to
The
being
shrouded coast.
way too friggin' dangerous. I lose characters in the Tangle on the regular.
Amphibious degeneracy.
It's just how that place works. Let's see. I definitely want the Battlefield Medicine upgrade. I could take the blind... I want the Weird Reconstruction. I could take the Blinding Gas. I don't need the Pull upgrade. I'll take the Defender upgrade for sure. We're getting to that interesting point where we will have more skills upgraded than not. I can definitely move a skill around on Barristan because I'm not using Courageous Abandon most of the time. Oh, Strategic Withdrawals upgrade is very strange. That is a heal 33%, target mark, greater block while on death's door. Huh. Alright. Command does not get better enough to use. Standfast is very redundant with Defender. Crush is a little bit better in terms of upkeep. I'm going to take the Take Aim upgrade. I think that's pretty good. For the final boss, we probably take Tracking Shot over Wicked Slice. I mean, we almost never hit Wicked Slice anyway. It's almost strictly inferior to Open Vein when Open Vein's upgraded and Wicked Slice isn't. And Tracking Shot on the final boss does some very important stuff. I can upgrade Blinding Gas and Ounce of Prevention. It's really jazzy. Let's see. Upgrading Disorienting Blast might be very interesting. Our team is looking to have a lot of access to stun. Like a lot of access to stun. Kinda wild. Let's see. Yeah, because here, Cause of Death is really flexible. Like, I can move this around. Upgraded Cause of Death is pretty exciting. Let me upgrade Cause of Death and try out the upgraded Cause of Death, so I haven't done it before. And upgrade the Ounce of Prevention too. It's just Rockstar Surgeon. Just do everything. Take care of it, whatever it is. Okay, so we've got some stress to fix. That should be my focus. I've got 3 characters with meaningful stress. Whiskey Barrel's a pretty good option. I've got 1 pipe weed that I don't necessarily want to burn. I don't need combat items for sure, right? I've got a good stack of combat items. We can consider this Greater Gilded Mind. 25% stress resist is kind of godlike. The Snappy Swig does not get upgraded, does not get replaced while we have Lost in Time. Lost in Time is too good. The Clarifying Carcanet will stick around in inventory at the very least. The Cuppa plus the Kitchen Knives is pretty great. But there are better things. I mean, we're literally using a minor Gilded Mind, so a Greater Gilded Mind is definitely worth. I think that logic works out. I want the Whiskey Barrel for sure. I don't think there's any case where we want the Wild Tea. I think I buy out all the whiskey. The Songbook of Rousing Tunes would be a lot better if I did not have 2 party members who ignore it. Restorative Herbs are very good. I think I buy Restorative Herbs and hold them over for the final boss, because I think I can get through this area without burning them. Okay, let's see. Let's burn this stuff first and then come back to look at it. How are we looking after the Whiskey Barrel? Okay, this relationship I think is my only one that is not wild. So we'll just stack these guys up with a ton of whiskey. Pipeweed looks to be my only other real stress relief. Okay. So this guy's going to lose a bit of speed. I'm going to drop the inoculant here. The mountain doesn't cause disease, so there's no need to hold on to it. The only other poultice is fire resist, but I don't think this final boss can do any burn effects. There's no way I want to use the cocktail when I can get such high stacks on other items. Milk-soaked linen is a woven item. I'm definitely putting laudanum on one character for the final fight. I think I buy up the whiskey and then leave the rest of this as is.
Road to damnation.
There's definitely no need for a stitching kit, right? Yeah, that'd be a waste. So we got these guys from 9 to 13. After that, we are moving along. How are our relationships? Respectful.
Tried and tested. A bomb
Hopeful.
to be counted on.
Amorous.
While the heart still beats, desire will never
Good
die.
actions, very contextual actions. We hit those buttons all the time. This is incredible. Having a respectful action on Incision is pretty godlike. Honestly, this run is going too well to win.
Propriety floats listless on the tide.
In order to actually win, this run needs to be at least 40% more cursed. So, get ready to get slapped. How much stronger can the party be? How much stronger do we need to be? I need to keep the loathing low. I could get a lot stronger if I find class-specific trinkets and certain other powerful items. A hospital could make me notably stronger. The assistance encounter is a pretty good idea. That's definitely not loathing, because I can see Oblivion Tears perfectly with Void Sight. I'm concerned about wanting to hit assistance encounters, but this is probably too many. Creature Den is probably quite strong. This party can probably take on the Leviathan and get through it without too much trouble. But it's a notable risk. I want to visit that hoarder on the right, if at all possible. Takes me through there. 3, 5. Looks like 5 Oblivion Tears along that routing. And I'm reducing the loathing by 1. Crap. 2. Possibly 3 if I hit the Lair. Okay, so that doesn't trigger boss health gain. But it's not awesome, of course. I can see 2 hazards on the route. But I think overall this is probably the best way of handling it. It's 2 hazards. I could probably take this resistance counter on the right, and it gets me away from 2 Oblivion Tears in exchange for 1 random problem. So what's the worst that random problem could be? So if I got wheel damage there, wheel damage there, wheel damage there, I still probably make it out of the chapter so long as this assistance encounter gives me an option to repair wheel damage. If I get armor down, 1, 2, 3, that could also screw me, but I still have an assistance encounter to recover from it. So I'm pretty sure I can do this safely, and it's a barricade. That's actually the best option. Fights are almost always going to be our best interaction on the road. Okay, 3 ordained.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
He dies on his next action. Oh, unstable incubation can trigger either dodge or guard. Interesting.
Hold fast, for who knows what lurks in the beyond.
Okay. Let's see. So I could try for a Demon's Pull there, and if the Demon's Pull lands, we can try to out this before it shifts. Yeah, there's chances. That's the pushback. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go for the stun here. So that's good security.
The Leviathan's breath thickens the air.
With that stunned, I think we'll try to take this guy out. He bleeds out now. Bleed out, stun. Yeah, fishmongers, meanwhile, are just dangerous. He's gonna chip away at health, and there's not a lot I can say about it. Let me remove your dodge stacks.
The work continues.
Let's see. We're blind, so I'm just going to throw out bolsters a bit. Get rid of some of these debuff stacks. Actually, that was a bit silly, because I could have done a take aim to remove that blind. Oh no, never mind. I'm misremembering who's blind. There's no point in that. Little short. Good dodge. And we kill here. I think they're... Oh, right, we've got the heal on crit. Nice.
In this world, wealth is worthless without purpose.
Yeah, generally our strength increasers are just trying to replace a few trinkets. In some cases, we're looking to replace indelible trinkets with slightly better indelible trinkets, so... I can technically equip that. I want to save the adrenaline tonics for the final boss if possible. You know what? I'm not a madman. Let me keep them equipped. I'll also equip the Warhorn going into the Leviathan fight as a bit of insurance. As well as the milk-soaked linens. There's a lot of possibilities in the Leviathan. Oh, I just picked up 6 laudanum at once? Wow. Okay. Back. Impervious is resistant to stuns. Okay. The captain is the priority to remove here. Pretty sure. What's your move resist like? Only 20%? I think he might have a skill to put himself backwards a bit. Actually, do we abyssal here? No, the damage isn't really good enough. If I had a damage token on the occultist, I would go for the abyssal artillery. Pushback. Definitely going for this. Nice critical. You're already dead. Good to have a block on that. I can't remove stun. It's not a useful bolster or rampart. I could go for a defender, but I think I want to progress the encounter more than that.
On to the next.
Okay, if I could find a way to out this body in the back, that would be ideal. But I don't really have a plan to do that. I might just pull him forward. Okay, we didn't get another bleed tick there. I could out the token. He's already got a weakness stack for his second attack. This heal is not really meaningful. I'm gonna go for the pull. It outs the corpse, if nothing else. Okay, just a little damage. Move through the stun. This usually takes him out. Cool.
Stumbling and
Ow.
stupefied.
Stuns are such a bummer. Okay, got the positions fixed. Ow, that's a big crit. Sort of. We have 87 health, so it's still not that big a deal, I guess. I want to get a weakening curse on you. Okay, we saved 3 damage. Oh, that's an annoying out of time pop there. I mean, it's a very powerful but very double-edged trait. Oh, well, that got us through our blind. That's a kill.
A righteous action.
Okay, so we took a decent amount of damage, but it was spread out amongst our party pretty well.
In this weighty gloom,
A spark.
And our party has a bunch of HP thanks to the trophy. We just need to make sure we never drop to 0 because we basically don't have Death's Door protection. Okay. Chalk dust, not very meaningful. Relics are cool. What do we have here? Oh, well, the scouting is pretty good, I think. Also, it's our only torch positive action, and I don't want to take a torch negative action this early in the region. Oh, cool. We get to learn the last of our occultist skills. Oh, good. Geez. And yeah, it looks like the road isn't too much of a deal breaker. Take some armor damage. That annoyance trinket I can meaningfully equip, I think. Oh, did that always add block? I think that got buffed. I don't remember it adding block before. There are there's if we run into gaunts or something, there are a couple generic enemies where stealth removal could be good. I'm trying to remember if there's an enemy around here that uses stealth. I think so. I would like to remove Braggart. I want to remove Flawed Release most of all.
We need not be defined by our shortcomings.
I had a good amount of money, so we can afford to remove a couple things. Okay, on to the Shrine of Reflection. We'll lose our armor. You only get to hold armor for so long anyway. The assistance encounter further up the road might be able to restore one of the two things. Let's see. Down 2, more noisemakers,
By
smoke
confronting the
bombs.
past, we learn to face the future.
Here we go.
Chapter 5. An eternal flame. Emerging from his trance, he met the charred, steaming corpses of his acolytes with a shudder. He could sense the eldritch entity stalking the edges of his consciousness, probing for weaknesses. He had become a beacon, a conduit to unknown regions, and would be assailed by those blasphemous forces all the rest of his days.
Ah. So it is then. So what is the Amamnesis skill? It's okay. It's an all enemy targets are gonna bleed, but it's just minor damage and a bleed on all enemies. And chaotic offering. Okay, that's a big deal. So that really enables like a self damage into big ritual skills setup. So that really makes that that really makes a build go online. And I want to know what does the upgrade for Amnesis look like? 4 bleed on all enemies. Okay, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. And the upgrade on Chaotic Offering is less self-damage. That's pretty good. Okay. So there are setups that don't rely on Sacrificial Stab to build up all of that empowerment. I'm finding a number of combat items. That's nice. I think I have a Smoke Bomb's goal on the Plague Doctor. So I'll equip him with some Smoke Bombs. And this can stack higher. So we'll up the Noisemaker stacks. Oh, hey, there's the 2 other smoke bombs. So we just need to use all these smoke bombs, and we get some candles. And I'll use them pretty readily because I've got more combat items to carry. Okay, I would like armor repair. If I can get armor repair and wheel repair. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Here, take some stuff. I don't need all this stuff.
A simple choice.
Alright, so we could go to the cache and the hoarder. We'll take two loathing that direction, but we remove loathing with the combat encounter anyway. Yeah, I like that a lot. I want to check a hoarder. What's our resources like? Our resources are good enough to get an indelible trinket from the hoarder.
Supplies this way, if you can make it.
So that's probably pretty good.
The loathing festers.
They prostrated themselves before the primogenial power of the obelisks, and were rewarded for their supplication.
Deathcap spores. Not used to seeing that. And fishmonger's gloves.
Your coach is
So the fishmonger's gloves are
can carry
naturally
no
part of a set
more.
that could be going on to the yellow hand build. It'd be pretty good. It's part of like a bleed comp setup, but eh. And I do have a serrated weapon to go with them. So together, those come out to like 50% bleed resist piercing, with additional like bleed applied on hit. But I'm kind of beyond that in terms of my build power right now. We've just grown past it. Songbook of Rousing Tunes is good, so we'll hold that. Drop the Minor Gilded Mind for sure. I definitely don't need that. Probably also don't need all this chalk dust and lie. Pretty weak. I want to make sure I can pick up road items. Did I drop the pipeweed? I dropped the soothing poultice and the pipeweed. That's fine. Actually, wait. I dropped the deathcap spores. Mostly don't matter. Actually, no. That still removes a death armor. Removing death armor is pretty good. We can use that here. Okay, let's see. We've got holy water, a few in items. Here we've got indelible class trinkets. So we've got the exact skill that works for my highwayman build. The exact trinket that enables my highwayman build. That's pretty cool. We've got the fisherman's line, which we're not going to use. Running pendant. We've got man-at-arms that works for a different build. And Fate's Foreteller, which is cool for some other people. But yeah, we have exactly, like, the item for our current highwayman build. 15% crit on melee skills, plus 2 bleed on open veins, and if I hit with ranged skills, I would get stress, but I'm literally not running any, because this is exactly the correct trinket for this build. And the Carcanet's disabled right now because I've spent money. We'll buy a whiskey barrel.
To ease the rigors of the road.
And I'm going to buy this clarifying poultice as well. It doesn't stack with the clarifying poultice we have, but the final boss has a meaningful stun skill, so we want to be immune to that. Knowing what the final boss does ahead of time is a huge deal. It's why, for any given boss, your first encounter against them is a crapshoot. So, got, yeah, just open guaranteed critical on you, take 5 bleed stacks. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. Frenzied enemies can be a bit of a pain. You've got nullified bleed resist, so take that. 4 bleed there. He's guaranteed to die in 2. We probably just let him bleed out from there. Okay, we did pick up a combo stack from that, so with that, I will want to Defender him. And 5. I can just call you dead. Good stun resist. We block the finishing blow, but we still take the stress, which is a bit of a bummer. Let's see. These guys will both be alive for a while longer. I'm gonna do a weakening curse here, so I have options to make good on that combo. Give me another finishing blow. Okay. That reads like meaningful damage. Oh, right. Remember to use this. I've got an okay bolster option, but I'm not sure if I want to take the time on that right now. Six, 8, 4, 8. Okay. I think it's you. We'll heal that on the road. Let's see. This guy is dazed, so he doesn't get to attack yet, and this will prevent him from attacking at all.
One less obstacle in our path.
I can take the heal here or the bolster for the stress removal. I think the stress relief is more important.
Excellent work.
And now you're already dead.
Greater threats await those who dare.
Encumbrance. We've got more food than we need by a lot, so we can start ditching some food. Yeah, because I only need to eat one more time, so I only need to carry 4 apples and cheese. Alright, light's a little low. I don't have any glimmers, right? Nope, not carrying. Medicinal herbs might be good. Nah, we're alright. I want to run through these. I've got a lot of fights in the next couple things. I am going to go to the Lair. I'll get the loathing reduction, get the boss loot. This boss loot can give us some meaningful bleed-oriented items. And we do get a light bump from killing the boss that I think we might need. I'm not accustomed to seeing this guy, and he's ordained. What do you do?
Analysis.
He's got a knockback. He's got an all targets shuffle. That's what I don't like.
Stupendous.
Given the health total on this guy, I am going to have to kill this one in the back first. That's what I remember, is that he hits like a truck.
Steady yourself.
I think I still need to take out the fishmonger first. But let's use a weakening curse on this guy so that I can afford a few more turns to work on him. Actually, we'll throw a smoke bomb down here too. It's a hit check. He dodged it. Oh well.
Squandered.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other. The Leviathan's breath thickens the air.
Well, I guess we are killing him because I just don't have enough movement skills to deal with things. I'm like looking at the actions. Unless I use like occultic yoink, I really don't have a way of pulling him up here. He's up to 18 bleed, so we'll just bleed him out. And I'm going to use one of the Death Cap spores here. Let's see, vulnerability hex time. Let's go for artillery. Okay. I am real nervous about the number of vulnerable stacks the team has. I'm gonna drop some of that, clear some of the stress. I'm not sure what caused that start of turn stress clear. Huh. Basically just gonna pass a turn there. I don't ignore the dodge if I use this. The vulnerability hex does ignore the dodge. And I also like heal. That's a crit coming in. Got through with the blind. Nice. It's pretty strong blinding gas. Crushed third rank. Even after all this, I'm probably still going to have to use Occultist's Reach to get this guy off the 4th rank and out the corpse. Demon's Pull, that's the name of it. I keep forgetting. I just want to call it the Yoink. Be done with it. I think that's fine.
A simple variable, easily resolved.
Leather strop. That's one of those items that would be great in Area 1, but by now I'm just beyond it. Okay, hitting the Lair. We're gonna take this loathing down to just 1.
I trust you have calculated your odds carefully. This will not be easy.
Okay. All of them are ordained. That's okay.
A brilliant conclusion.
Let's see. I don't really feel there's a meaningful one that I can pull or weaken, so I'm just gonna do damage. Oh man, they're really bullying him. Put a blind on you. Focus on killing all your friends. 7 dots, pretty good. I'm gonna throw out a defender, make sure they don't keep cracking him anymore. These guys can target all over the place. That should set him up to dot out. And then we can pull you to the front. No, we need to Cover. Oh, wow, okay. This party's in no mood to slow down. No, we'll take a stun. Yeah, I'm kind of disabling my own riposte, but it's alright.
On to the next.
Oh, 100 fisher folk kill, according to Steam. Take you out.
Another impediment, cleared with impunity.
I just need to get these corpses out of the way. Good dodge.
Cooperation is the key.
You're still to act. Let's get you a stun.
Messy.
We're gonna keep that strength stack out of our list of concerns. This should basically set him up to die real cleanly on the surgeon's action. Yeah.
They falter, so press your advance.
Yeah, it's big damage.
In crisis,
The big
no
damage.
gain is insignificant.
Right, I'm gonna take a moment. I think I have more coffee. Just a second. Good. Yes, I do. Alright, this coffee means we're going to be going a little late tonight if I'm caffeinating at this point. But that's fine. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm planning to keep going until I die, and then I'm going to go offline and get some dinner. And then we'll probably be back online a bit later. Alright, combat item shenanigans. I want this for the boss fight for sure. Smoke bombs are a maybe. We don't get horror for this fight. It's possible for this guy to get a lot of bleed on us, so we could drop medicinal herbs in. And I think I use death cap spores on the boss. That'll be real funny. Okay. Chalk dust doesn't help in the lair. One more road heal. 87 health, embarrassed. That's so crazy. But it's a greater hail draught plus the other crazy stuff we have. Leather strop is not meaningful. Actually, I had meant to equip Raven's Reach over here. I'm gonna replace the covert cloak. I think the covert cloak is really, really good if you have effects that key off of stealth. You also need the what's it called? Oh, the spacious storage trunk is meaningless. Right? Yeah, it is. And I do not have... I'm not triggering the carcanet, so we're not going to equip it. I will almost certainly have the carcanet active after this boss fight, and then I can use it in the
Church of
the Oblivion's Rampart.
An inglorious heap of rotting timbers.
Okay, what are these guys? Stun resistant, right? Is it Defender here or Rampart to move things forward? Rampart this. And then we'll Abyssal Artillery. Nice crit. Okay, he bleeds out in 2. But I need to focus on the incubation for a bit. I need to move you back into position. I can never tell if party members are going to be happy or upset about them being moved around. Hold on.
Observe
You
the
used
subject
unstable
carefully,
incubation, but you can
and
get his
you will
token.
discover its
He's
weaknesses.
about to go into spawning ground, and I can't stop him while he's got the dodge token. And he's acting so fast. So we just have to let him go.
Strength dwindles.
And there's a stun. Bummer. Okay. From here, let's get rid of that dodge stack so we can try and kill you. I've got a lot of noisemakers. I want to make sure the incoming damage isn't too crazy. And let's set you to a multiple of 5. And damage on him. Looks like I've got a reconstruction. Okay, that wasn't super good. Just fix yourself up. Glad I put the taunt up. You're dead. You're not dead yet. Didn't quite get him there. Ow! Glad I resisted the bleed there. Don't need to do that. What's the next action? He's already dead. Just fix the positioning. Even if there was a bleed risk.
A steady subtraction, an invariable result.
This guy in the back is the problematic one. Okay, that's fine. He bleeds out. Got time for this. Okay. Pretty good status to move on.
A simple variable.
Getting a
easily
9
resolved.
heal out of an unupgraded crush is nuts. Okay, sturdy, and we've got a named enemy in the back line, the Hull Keeper. He had something wild, I forget. I think it's that his sodden rigging action is a lot scarier. No, it's this Riptide thing. So he does some full party shenanigans.
Cunning. You may outwit them yet.
Yeah. I think he's pretty much just going to do that once, but he sets up the barnacles, which can cause more bleed to hit the party throughout this fight. Oh, and we've got that into the make way shuffle. Okay.
Lurks in the beyond.
That's pretty bad. Nobody has a really serious amount of bleed.
The enemy weakens and
Okay, we can try and pull you. He resisted.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
I should have used a noisemaker to set up taunt as well. I don't want to use this here. It's more important to save it for the boss. Any bleeds we take throughout this fight, I'm just going to suck it up. It's not a huge amount of damage. Cause of death for 30 and a combo. Let's just hit that button while it looks like that. Okay, we got him to the front of the class. And I'll escort you to the back. Resisted the stun.
Steady your
Ow! With a bleed, that's really dangerous. This is bad. Alright. I've got a full enemy routine without being able to secure the Plague Doctor. I don't know what my next character action is. And I've got low death's door resist because of the trophy. Okay. I need this weird reconstruction to land. Okay, okay. Okay, it's a lot less scary now. I seriously need no more attacks on him. Barristan's health is fine, doesn't matter. Drop your bleed. I can't use battlefield medicine from this position. I want at least 2 of these targets dead, and then I can think about doing some healing.
Victory supposes strategy. Press on.
Okay, let's take a turn to shuffle you into position to heal. I don't have amorous actions to take for healing. Just gonna remove your last Death's Door charge. They're both gonna complain, so heal whichever. You're gone.
All problems have their solutions, even the big ones.
Let's get him out of here. Okay. I need a lot more health before I go into the next encounter, so we need to stall. Roll a big number. There we go. I'd say, like, upgraded weird reconstruction should be able to hit. Okay. The party's in a stable state now.
Only upon each other.
He bleeds out. Fall back onto some amorous triggers. Get another heal off of this. Who's a valid target? Do this. 1. Pretty lame. Okay. Blind. Okay, we got the daze. Alright, we still have a taunt layer, so I'm gonna knock this corpse back. Didn't happen. Alright. You just say, oh, my taunt fell off.
Fight through the fatigue.
That's something I'm not always a fan of, is that some of these tokens have a hidden turn counter on them. They need to unhide that shit.
Cunning.
Okay, that sets him up to die in 2. I will have time to get off the other battlefield medicine charge. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the end of my healing. So we'll just take an amorous action there, and we'll end the fight here. Okay, that was real tense for a moment. Whew, okay, alright, alright. What are our rewards here? The Lashing Tides is highly mediocre. These aren't really worth. But we can get Candles and Chocolate. It's pretty good. And it's a bunch of, I mean, it's a bunch of baubles and relics. Leaf Suspension is also pretty good. Going into the last area. Item generating stagecoach bits. I don't necessarily care about holding on to the last area compared to bonus relationship stuff.
They must be made to see that their monstrous god is mortal.
Okay. So we can eat one of his death armors with the spore thingamajig. That'll be pretty cool. He does have a 60 bleed resist for now, but we'll put the yellow hand debuff on him, which does stack. So that's kind of good. Weakening Curse is more of a priority. Breath of the Sea is a non-damaging act, but we do have vulnerability out the wazoo. We don't need ounce of prevention in this fight, we just need to do damage.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
I want to set up the Noisemaker. This is just for the block stack, doesn't matter much beyond that. He is fully stun immune, so our important action here is to get rid of some of these damn vulnerable stacks. More block layers doesn't help us that much. Okay, so Leviathan is a damage check. You need to deal enough damage to this thing to out it before it gets to take all 3 of its actions. Otherwise, you're a loser, and you just have to kind of, you know, sit down and die. Probably Vulnerability Hex, right? Yeah. So this is going to drag under one of the people who's marked by Call of the Deep. So you're going to lose some of your ability to do damage. And then with the damage you have left, you have to be able to crack this. Because the other guy gets hit by batter actions every time this gets to act after somebody's been dragged under. If they're dragged under for multiple rounds, they start taking a bunch of damage too. So he took 2 damage. He took 10 damage for being dragged under for like barely any time at all. All right, we can stack up the bleed pretty well because we've got a lot of resistance penetration. Normally, this dude is pretty bleed resistant. Keep up a weakening curse, I guess. That breath inflicts either vulnerable or blind. The blind is more of a screw over than the vulnerable is. It can cause a death for 25. I think I almost never hit cause of death unless it's lethal. Because he doesn't have a way of dropping the bleed stacks anyway, except for them normally expiring.
Collaboration confers.
There's our target through that. I can't meaningfully drop the blind. I could drop the vulnerable with a bolster, but I don't know if that's my best action compared to more damage. If there was a vulnerable on the Plague Doctor, you bet I would be dropping that.
An opportunity. Squandered.
And at the end, he has to bring up the hand. And we're right back into attacking the hand. The high critical chance and the big bleed stacks from the Highwayman is a huge boon in this fight. Because the hand's already dead. It's not actually going to get to drag somebody down this round, which is insane.
Empowered, emboldened.
Because those 3 actions that hand could take are all not going to happen. And it's those 3 actions that make the boss actually dangerous. If it doesn't get to do that, it's not a big deal. He does some damage, but not even that often. He causes some stress. I mean, that's meaningful stress output. But at this rate, we've got him. Is he even gonna get the pull under here? Probably. Oh, he didn't take. He doesn't take bleed on the turn he does Deep Rising. Let's see. The 9 bleed there and 6 bleed there. Here a bleed, there a bleed, everywhere a bleed. Only got 3 of 5, so that probably doesn't get him there. Play it safe. Oh, I just need to tag him with anything. Oh, if I had actually moved forward, the riposte would have killed him. Cause of death. No problemo. Pick up an extra mastery and a bunch of items. Some of these extra items are really cool. The carved bodkin can be very strong on a few select builds. If bleeding, 20% chance to take extra action can be pretty strong. I think I picked up a disease right at the end of that fight.
The loathing abates.
Okay, no, my mistake. I did not, thankfully. Alright, the Hag's Horde, I think, is a little weak. It's possible I could have something better there. I'm not seeing it. The Fisherman's Line, Fishmonger's Glove together are decently strong. If I had the Fisherman's Net with the Fisherman's Line, you can do the full set, and it's a pretty good little combo. Let's see. If I was going to replace anything, it'd probably be the Ravenous Reach, given my setup on the party right now. Oh, I can equip another combat item. Did you finish your Smoke Bomb Skull? He's got his Smoke Bomb Skull. He doesn't need to carry any Smoke Bombs. I could equip the Adrenaline... I still want to save the Adrenaline Tonics. We're going to use the Smoke Bombs. They're still pretty good. Stack up a couple more medicinal herbs. I can hold on to that. I'm going to use the last Noisemaker for sure. We're triggering half the Carcanet right now. Just equip that there. I'm going to drop the Hag's Horde. I don't need it. I'm not going to use the Lashing Tides. I'm not. So we're not going to take it with us. There's no benefit for having extra trophies. I can drop the Covert Cloak. I'm not going to use the Carved Bodkin. Shit. I should have absolutely used the Carved Bodkin. The final boss does have a bleed-related mechanic, and getting lower bleed stacks on one of my party members would be pretty great. So that's a mistake. I'm going to drop the Laudanum. I don't need that much Laudanum. And the Chalk Dust. Moving on. Okay. Stress is a little high, but it is pretty reasonable for me to take at least one bolster action in the upcoming encounter. Lights up to 46. Oblivion's Rampart. Oh, we got this freaky guy. I do not remember all of his actions, but I need to get rid of his altar in the back. I don't really want you to have strength. Could you not? This guy is all about, like, Prelude and Fall, right? Yeah, he does the pull and he slams somebody. His other stuff's pretty nasty, too. And he's got Pillar of Sacrifice, so you can kill that little nerd behind him, do extra stuff. I mean, I'm just going to start the damage, I guess. But let's set up a smoke bomb on you to start. And try and get your little buddy. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Collaboration.
I'm gonna set up a taunt. This guy really does not like targeting the front row. He'd rather bully my other characters. I don't want to let him do that. Okay, 11 and 4 bleed.
Measured and steady.
Got him to whiff the prelude because of the respectful. And you got 2 actions. I don't really want to let this guy get another turn. Okay, so we're picking up Horror. I'm gonna drop the other smoke bomb on you. It's just good to do that. And a weakening curse as well. Anytime we have this one on many, we just want to layer on a lot of debuffs. Use Bolster to drop 4 stress from the party. Nice hit. Big damage. More curses. Okay, that's the end of our blind stacks for now. Okay, he finally landed a combo. Can't remove combo. Not gonna use Courageous Bandit. Use Defender. I might be able to get these dodge plus stacks to avoid the big trigger. Nice, nice.
Strength dwindles.
Yeah, okay. Took that from 20 damage down to 5. Good interception. He's gonna keep trying to do it because he's still got the combo stack out there. Oh, that's interesting. He changed up his prelude. Are you stun immune? He's not stun immune. Might rampart here. Okay, he resisted the stun, picked up a daze. Cause of Death is only 15 damage. Do about the same with Incision at that low stacks. Okay, we got him at Death's Door, almost there. Demon's Pull can hit him and then it'll bleed out. Cause of Death. I like killing with Cause of Death, it's funny.
In this weighty gloom.
More mastery. Okay, healing given, healing received. So, there's a possibility of using that. I mean, you can't use other stuff to synergize with it. I would like that so much more if I had a Grave Robber in. Some of the cultist trinkets are a bit more like specific party angled, but if not stealth, to take 50% more damage is quite punishing. Okay, Barristan is quite stressed, but we should be able to buy some kind of strong stress relief item for him and be fine. Maybe a Book of Bawdy Tales. I'm not sure if he can read that being erudite, but I'm hoping he can, because I really need him to not melt down with his 97 max health. Alright. Whole party's eating cheese. Let's see what else we can do for people with our final round of prep.
The fire is lit.
Gain some quirks. Ascetic, Swine-Fearing, and Misses the Mark. Misses the Mark is a bit of a bummer. Ascetic is pretty good. Swine-Fearing doesn't matter. Looks like we brought some playing cards and whiskey. Only 2 members benefit from the rousing tunes, but it's pretty good. We unfortunately picked up a sprained ankle. We'll definitely use at least 1 clarifying poultice on you. We want to think a little more about the candles and chocolate, as well as these other things. So, Barristan, stun resist is at 90. The buff does stack. I was wondering about that. So we've got his stun resist over 100%. I'm not in the mood to get stunned by the boss. He's also got move resist over 100%. We're not going to get moved around by the boss. Death resist for the whole party is really awful because of the trophy. We need to not go to 0 health. It'll be pretty bad. Our route is, of course, the mountain. Oh, great, we got a Haggis Cauldron. Yeah. mess up our relationship chances. Pretty great. Okay.
Reconfigure. Meet each challenge.
These don't matter much. We're gonna stay over 75 baubles, so that does trigger the Caracol.
Spend what you can.
I'm probably gonna lose
no
the
longer
relics
has meaning.
effect, so we'll lose the HP but
Indeed
keep
it
the
ever
damage.
did.
There's the theory. We'll see if we hold to that. Songbook of Touching Dirges. I could replace it with a Bouncer's Belt if I wanted to spend out, but I don't really wanna. We're already fed. Combat items. Combat item configuration is gonna be, we've got the Laudanum somewhere. Somebody has to hold it. Milk-soaked linen, I believe, is helpful for this. We want the Warhorn equipped, and we want the Adrenaline tonics. This is pretty strong. So I don't think I'm going to buy any combat items at all. Although, actually, I could buy some combat items and use them in the combats on the way, because the boss is not the first thing we're up against. I'm actually going to buy some Thunderclap grenades, and we will keep the Warhorn on the backbench for a bit and hold on to the Thunderclap grenades. The rest of this, I basically use whenever I need it. Clotting Poultices are quite good against this boss,
A bit of comfort on the road to damnation.
so I'm buying those out. I don't want to use the Wild Tea. What are our resistances look like? 30, 40, 30, 30. So I'm going to use these in a pretty even-handed way. Restorative herbs. So candles and chocolate, I want to check their relationship charts. How's our shipping? I don't want to use this between the Man-at-Arms and the Occultist, because they're maxed out. Any other configuration is about fine. I probably want to use this between this pairing. They only got a +1 out of a possible +3. Oh well. Let's see. I'll use the restorative herbs in a bit of a spread out way. I don't need to focus those, so I can't focus the damage that well.
Listen.
Let's see.
Improve.
Blind removal. I don't need to use hold the line because we're movement immune. I don't trust myself on strategic withdrawal. I don't think it's going to be useful or good. I don't think it's going to be good. I have the option of replacing... so I definitely use Tracking Shot for the last fight. And I need the upgraded Tracking Shot for the Can't Gain Dodge. This probably sits as is. I don't have a... My only countermeasure against horror is the 10 laudanum that I'm bringing. Let's see. Demon's Pull is meaningless on the final boss. I could replace it with something, but I'm not good at building up empowerment. So I'm not good at using the various empower skills. And I don't plan on trying to use Chaotic Offering against the boss. The Occultist is going to be basically full-time hitting curses. Just going back and forth on curses the whole dang time. The debuff resist Malice from Binding Shadows could be useful. And that does get a little bit better. I don't think I need to change him up. If I'm going to change up anything here, I think I could remove Courageous Abandon in favor of Bellow. I'm not using Courageous Abandon very much because I'm not that good at gaining block, and I haven't gotten anything that makes me much better at blocking. And this would allow me to remove... Wait, the final boss does have a riposte option. Yeah. Okay, I want that. Because I was thinking the final boss does have a mechanic where it gains block and converts the block to, like, crazy stuff. And I probably want to have Crush as an option for the possible heal. So I don't want to remove Crush. But I think I switch this over and I use Bellow in a certain phase. Over here, I switch Wicked Slice. I don't think I care about a Duelist's Advance upgrade. That's an option, but I'm not going to take it. These skills are probably fine as is. So the only other option would be if I wanted to try to use Disorienting Blast, but I don't think it's going to be a good option or anything meaningful. I don't think I change Demon's Pull either. I could upgrade Demon's Pull for damage reasons? That doesn't seem good. I guess I upgrade Duelist Advance here because of the fact that I could get dodge in a pinch, and I honestly don't have other skills to change or improve. I can make the Courageous Abandon switch now. I can make the Wicked Slice switch now. And nothing else is changing. The combat items are fine where they are. So let's look at what else we can spend. I want more stress relief. The Mop and Bucket and the Whiskey Bottle are my best options for that, probably. Let's see what we get off the Mop and Bucket. There's a chance. We got the stress relief. Okay. So, if I don't spend anything else, then I keep the Caracol active immediately. I don't remember if the remaining stuff we have to go through actually has Relic and Bauble Drops. So it's the Caracol effect versus more stimulating poultices and the Whiskey Bottle effect, as well as possibly the Songbook of Touching Dirges. Only one party member is immune to that. So let's look at our relationship chances. So we've got no possibility of a positive relationship on this axis. Mostly because the inn fucking sucks, and because Dismas is a little curmudgeon-y. And actually, Ascetic also impacts this in a bad way. Okay, we've got no negative options here, and the positive options are pretty good. This is all good. So there's just the one relationship that is a bad possibility. And I think I'm just going to let that go and maintain the Carcanet benefits. All right. Any more combat items? I'm going to sit on combat items.
The next stop is
I'm not going to do that. I don't need to.
Accordingly.
There's no stagecoach effects in the mountain. Okay, well, Plague Doctor has opinions. These should be 3 positive relationships.
To be counted on. Aspiration
Yeah, Plague Doctor is just a star.
While the heart
And these guys triggered Amorous again.
Desire will
Okay,
never die.
so we got just 1 relationship for him, 2 relationships for the Highwayman. All right. I think the maximum is 6 relationships if I've got the math right.
At last, the great
It's 3 factorial. No, factorial is multiplication. Right? I forget. Okay, so we have a couple Oblivion's Ramparts that can be very nasty, and then the final boss. The rematch with Ravenous Reach. And honestly, I feel like things have been going way too well for me to calm down. There's very little purpose to the relationship pops there. I had to think about it for a moment. Like, wait a minute, I'm not thinking about anything. There's nothing to optimize. Move on. His Flesh Warp buff is lower melee damage. Okay, he's definitely going to be our final target to out. I could steal this block. I don't think that's effective. Start the bleed. This is a 5-stack bleed. It's really big. Altar's still the focus as usual. I'm going to drop the Thunderclap. Okay, Didn't change that much.
Cooperation is the key.
I don't care about going for a bellow. I could defender. I'm gonna remove this vulnerable stack. Could be problematic. And we get the respectful trigger. That's a pretty big damage. We get the rush judgment. We get the chaplain in the back, which is where we want him to be, more or less. That is 5 bleed from flesh from bone. The skill flesh from bone certainly lives up to what it sounds like. That should set the altar to die. Good. I'm gonna try and rampart you because it gives him the subpar rush judgment action. And we want to go for a weakening curse because the deacons, honestly, they hit too hard. It's just like, oh man. All right. We start setting up our kills. I've never seen this other guy perform a worship action, so the kill order doesn't matter too much. Can you perform a worship action? He can technically perform a worship action.
And you will discover its weaknesses.
If he gets the chance. Let's see, we've got a vulnerability hex option. I think artillery might be the better action. Do I want a demon's pull? Is that better? I don't think I need this corpse out. I technically get more target flexibility, but the evangelist is the one I want to kill. If I want to kill the evangelist, I don't need a vulnerability on it to kill it. Because this damage is already pretty nutty. And that'll set it to death's door. And it didn't worship, so it's already dead. Okay. It's pretty much expected. We got the Lost in Time days. Let's see. I have the option of a bellow or a defender. I think I'll bellow here. We get the speed malice that might set up something interesting. Now we pull. He resisted the pull, but the corpse out still lets me target what I need to. And yeah, the daze on him is still a good play. He resisted it. It's fine. That's really big damage.
A steady subtraction, an invariable result.
Okay, we didn't drop below 50%, so we can't get a heal on there. We've got some impending road heals anyway.
Bravo!
So I think we just take our kill and move on. We've got one more encounter to drop the other Thunderclap grenade, so we're not looking to change our combat item loadout yet. All right. Yeah, I got one road heal pulse.
Of the void.
Yeah, you're never allowed to dodge these encounters from what I've seen. You will never get an option to run away from them. What are you called again? The Cardinal. Okay. Kill order on this is a little flexible. I mean, we almost certainly want to get rid of the Cherub first. Star, Yawning Void. Yawning Void Shuffle is a really nasty effect. I think the only thing that's certain here... I mean, the Evangelist is not really threatening compared to the other two. Which is really funny, because it kind of reversed my opinion about that relative to originally playing the game. Yeah, that's the problem.
Steady yourself.
We've got a lot of stress right now. That action does very little for me. I just need to get you back into position. We Thunderclap Grenade. Okay, getting the Cherub moved up is pretty good. I want to drop a weakening curse to remove that critical stack.
Well done.
To make your action a lot less
In
meaningful.
crisis, we can rely
And I think we'll
only
also
upon each
delay it.
other.
80% stun chance. He resisted. Now, I'm calling that out as 80%. And that's like... there. And that's looking at his stun resistance of 40. Because I believe the Sergeant has a 20% stun resist pierce. Maybe I've misread it. I can double check on that later. Maybe it's actually a 60% stun resist. I could be misreading it entirely the other way, or it could already be incorporated into the tooltip. I want this guy dead. Super dead. I know my next action here is bolster, because I need to drop some of this stress.
Empowered.
And I want to get a block stack up as well. You're dazed, you're hanging out. That's damage with some stress. Vulnerable stacks too. This will kill.
On to the next.
I didn't even read the numbers, I just know what that man does. Plague Doctor is just a killer. Block. I want a weakening curse on him, since his damage output is rude. Picked up a critical stack, that's nice. We're getting a lot of stress coming in. Okay, the worship's pretty annoying there. Yeah, I was considering maybe throwing down a blind stack, but I'm ready to push for a kill on this target. Bellow does very little for me. I can't do that again. I want to get Defender out on one of my vulnerable party members, even if it means we're going to take a lot of stress here. Let's see, 22 with 12 dots. Oh, you're dead, basically. He's still got a death armor, but he's going to death's door. Vulnerability hex your block away. Sure, whatever you want to click, buddy. You're gone.
Cooperation is the key.
I'm gonna throw out a bolster to get rid of your vulnerable stacks. The ounce of prevention, cause of death is not meaningful. We want blinding gas here. Okay, the corpse faded, that's good. Time to start pushing for this last kill.
An unavoidable end.
Daze upgrade to stun, got it! Nice! Okay. Start up a combo. Yeah, you're stunned. You're dead.
Deliberate and methodical
Appliance of harm.
– 12 bleed stacks. 17 bleed stacks. Death's Door.
Measure
Okay.
out your violence.
That's not gonna have a ton of time to tick.
Judiciously.
I mean, the problem about that is that it's like a lot of dot damage. Oh, we picked up a random blind. That's misses the mark. It's trolling us a little bit. Cause of death for 26? No. Cause of death while they have a death armor is not very good. We don't have execution on cause of death. Let's see, I'm gonna drink one laudanum and throw out one last bolster, so we can get our stress to a really good state before the final fight. And we'll take the kill here. Okay, now we're doing a combat item check. Currently,
We are the flame.
I'm planning to put the Warhorn on the Occultist. That's a mistake. The Warhorn should be on a very fast party member. We want to be able to pop that at a start of turn. There's two ways of thinking about how to use this Warhorn. Party is ready. I didn't use the stimulating poultice at the inn at all. That's a little bad. All right. So there are two thoughts. We can either start hard or finish hard. I think I want to try and save the Warhorn for Phase 3, because I get the feeling that Phase 3 is a crazy goddamn race, and I think Phase 1 is actually the one I'm best prepped for. Phase 1, we can just bleed him out. We just, like, almost everything he tries to do just doesn't happen in Phase 1. Okay, ideation, 3 block stacks. Gonna yoink those, I'm pretty sure. Setback is a lot of damage, but we cannot be knocked back. We need block stacks. I can bolster for them, but I'm not getting stress relief out of it. Okay, you've got no stacks left. Going to Vulnerability Hex. He's got a crap load of debuff resist. We hit our Abyssal Artillery instead. Right? No. Mark him. Mark him. Setback. 3 damage. And that's what the first phase is going to be like. And we're going to bleed this phase out. Okay. The stress caused by ideation is pretty real. And he's going to get that block back up. I only have so many ways to remove the block, but we're going to bleed him through the guard. We don't care about that as much as we care about the critical he's going to pick up.
The small foundation of
Weird reconstruction for 70 fucking 7. Bolster gives me a block stack. Cutting in for more dots. Setback me for 7 damage. Sure thing. Okay. I might want to drink some laudanum about this. I want his stuff gone. Okay, let's see. Abyssal Artillery here? Or is it... oh, he set up combo here. This is going to be like another 20 damage setback? 30 damage setback, okay. I lost my block stacks. I'm going to drink 1 laudanum. Keep that a little under control. Keeping up block stacks is really paramount. I just need to keep using Defender and Bolster to keep those stacks up. Okay, phase bleeds out. Next phase. Okay, this is his dodgy phase. His bleed resist is up to 75. But we'll still throw some debuffs in the mix to drop it. Yeah, we need to hit him with a lot of physical... We need to just, like, hit him pretty hard. Vulnerability Hex should be pretty clutch here. But I don't hit Vulnerability Hex yet. I should not hit Vulnerability Hex if he doesn't have dodge stacks, because I don't want to have that on cooldown. Precise Intent, he picks up 2 dodge stacks. Let's see. I think we try to Incision through that anyway. You're next. Oh boy. Good hit. Yep, that's okay. I need to be mindful of this bleed. Keep chugging laudanum. We can be more liberal about our block stacks now. Bellow's not important yet. Gonna get the stress right. Sets up another intent. Okay, this is where we need the block stacks, but we've got them already. He transferred over into crits. I think I need to steal that. Yeah. Aha! Yeah, minimal damage output. This big bleed needs to be gone before he makes a phase transition. We're gonna reconstruct here. Because after his phase transition, he gets Cause of Death. We have the block stacks to cope with this. Keep drinking laudanum. It's a lot of stress. That's fine. I need to swing in with something to get rid of this. He's got 100 stun resist anyway, so he's not taking the daze. I don't think removing his speed is meaningful. Let's try it. He's got low debuff resist in this phase. And I would love more time at the top of the initiative to respond to him. Good hit. Okay. I mean, I could tracking shot here, but with the tokens I've got, I'm just going for it. 5 more. I really hope I can battlefield medicine before his next action. Please don't scramble the initiative. He did a little scramble.
Measure out your violence.
It's okay. Alright. Laudanum on the horrified party member with the highest stress. We've got 5 more rounds of being able to laudanum. I've got access to a bolster. I can't bellow, but he's got a riposte up. Is Defender my most important action? I don't think it is. No, it is. I'm just going to believe that it is. Oh, it's only 6 bleed. It's not that bad. Ounce of prevention.
Empowered. Emboldened.
Okay. Pretty low damage. He heals off of that, too. I need to be mindful of that. Rumination resisted a lot of bleeds. Warhorn. Okay. What are your resistances like? 40 debuff resist is pretty even-handed. This isn't too bad, all in all. He's got 3 layers of riposte right now, and it's going to be a while before Barristan can act. So, I'm gonna highway robbery some of these stacks off. We really don't want to be taking retaliations from the boss. Okay. We can live with this horror for a while, a good long while. I don't think weird reconstruction's warranted right now. I want vulnerability hex. This is where we push. Laudanum is not needed this round. I don't need to bellow either. We've got Defender out. I could bolster. I probably need to bolster to keep the stress relief going and to keep the block stacks up. We're gonna hit it, but it feels like a pretty subpar round.
A brilliant conclusion.
Thank you for those stacks I got to steal. That's good damage. Pushing with open vein crit. That's horror. Nobody has a 2 stack of horror, so we're okay. We can adrenaline tonic here, right? We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to. He's got retaliation stacks. I'm gonna swing through it. 5 damage. He causes bleed on retaliation. That's the biggest reason for me to try to avoid that. I can't let that bleed stack up. Good reconstruction.
Collaboration confers advantage.
I don't need to laudanum yet. Get rid of your stacks.
is no
That
time
hurt.
to falter.
I didn't have enough block stacks. I needed to block instead of bolster, I think. We can push. 21 health. What? He bled out.
Ambition drove you to abandon everything you had.
I wasn't even tracking my bleed stacks.
Everything you wanted.
We got there. That was a team surgically designed to kill that boss.
The flame sears the skulking shadows from the darkened corners of the earth.
Alright, hold on. I gotta bring the camera up. I don't know why I have I had all the backlights on even though the camera's off. Gotta. He's dead. Got him. That was a vicious boss with a lot of mechanics that I earnestly had to build the team to kill. That team was not built for any purpose other than killing that boss. And I think that had to happen. That was my goal for tonight. I have not eaten dinner, so I'm gonna do that. It's like 9 o'clock. So I might be back on around like 10-ish to do some other stuff. It might be this, it might be Lies of P instead, or maybe some Street Fighter or something like that. I'm gonna see the next story tidbit though, so I'm gonna like start the next thing real quick because I want to know what the next story beat is.
Unable to suffer your unprincipled overreach any longer, I made ready to depart, imploring you to rejoin me in more wholesome pursuits. Instead, you babbled of impossible measurements, ushering me down into the bolted cellar.
Labeled
In the dim
Gehenna.
light, I recoiled at the preparations you had made. 4 bodies laid out along the lateral points of the crown. As the dagger's blade revealed itself through my chest, I understood. I was to be the 5th.
Ooh. Been hearing the testimonial of a dead man all along. Well, that's the story beat. I'm not gonna spend stuff at the Altar of Hope just yet. Oh, got him. Okay, so down the line we've got a 5th boss to rumble with. We're probably gonna have to look at the 5th boss before we can figure out how to kill him. I don't know what the altars are gonna do or what other layered challenges are that we're gonna see. At this point, our average party is able to just thrash Region 1. I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing ordained enemies as early as Region 1, because the proportion of ordained enemies increasing is a pretty constant ramp up in the danger. So, that is going to be it for now. We'll be back in maybe half an hour. Before I let you go, I want to take a moment to see if anybody else is streaming in the category. And if that is the case, I will pass you off. Yeah, looks like we do have somebody else who's streaming in the category. So I'm going to drop a raid for a little bit. What's the easiest way? It's got to be like an easier way. Just like by clicking on something, right? I don't. Man, I barely know how to use Twitch. I don't know how to do any of the cool stuff on Twitch, do I? Alright, what I know I can do is over here, the raid button, right? Okay, what I know I can do is /raid. That works, right? Okay, there we go. We're jumping over for a bit. Let's see how the rest of the internet is faring in Darkest Dungeon 2.